Yeah? Okay. Yeah, but I was just gonna. Also, you have to refresh again. Okay, fine, fine. I will just make it long. Okay, sure. You want to take it from school? Yeah, thank you. Okay, you just have a yeah. You need to see what's supposed to like. Yes, will that be quicker? Yeah, let me go and take the one. Okay, that's evidence of the school. Let me take the one from the door. Sorry? Yeah, just be mindful that it's being for it. Yeah. And you keep this fine. Hi. How are you? Good, good, good. She's setting up this. Exactly. Thanks. Brendan, that's right.
What time are they opening the doors, peoples?
One, two. I can see it's going there. 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah. Another one. 1, 2. See? Sure. 1, 2.
In that strike of the cubicle, I'm going to take this one.
Take the map as well. Yeah.
1, 2. 1, 2. I need to change this. Okay. 1, 2. We need to change this. 1, 2. Yeah. So we're gonna use this one. Yeah. So can you help this one? Then 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, there. 1, 2. So can I change the lyrics first? This one. Yeah. Are you going to get the tool for the stand? Yeah. We're going to get it now. Yeah. This one is for the people inside. Are you okay there? All right. Yes.
Wilkin, do you know where the dog tags are?
It's not here.
Oh.
I don't think it's here, so it's fine.
You want the dog tags?
Dog tags. For the military, thank you.
We're opening those now.
We're opening doors.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Can I open those?
Guys, can we open doors? Are we set? Oh, awesome.
And just open the doors. Good idea? We can open doors. Thanks, Lord. Penny, we need this mic. We don't need this thing. Yeah.
It's just really all on the mic, easy to understand.
But again, the thing, it's a small one.
Is it small?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just study that there's no stand.
Yeah. There's no step. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
The mic actually hanging over the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, as long as the social distance, 8 feet and taking away my phone. Unfortunately, no drinking inside, so you have to drop your mask. Let me see that anyway, as long as it's social distance, they take out of the car.
Dear Baxter guests, welcome to this performance at the Baxter Theatre Centre. As a courtesy to your fellow patrons and the artists, please ensure that all cell phones are switched off. We would also like to remind you that the wearing of masks throughout the performance is mandatory as required by COVID-19 regulations. Thank you. Enjoy the performance and please stay safe.
Goedemorgen, good morning. It's lovely to see everyone in a theater. Ek kan nie glo nie, but it is the 6th edition of Teksmark. It's been 2 years, which has been really an incredibly challenging, difficult time, I think, for our industry and for South Africa and the world. But it is lovely to be back with masks and with sanitizer and following all the regulations. It's wonderful to see so many people that I haven't seen in 2 years, and also people that I've only met on Zoom and I can actually now meet in person. But also welcome to everyone who's watching online, because that is the wonders that happened the past 2 years, that we realized, oh, we've got technology and we should use it. So it's wonderful to also be able to stream this to the rest of South Africa and anyone that can't be here, and in fact the rest of the world, because I know there's some people like from the Netherlands and Belgium, definitely that's also tuning in today, tomorrow, and on Friday. I don't want to say too much. I'm going to talk a lot this week, unfortunately. But I would like to welcome a few people, all the writers. Welcome and congratulations with your scripts that are presenting over the next few days. Every year I think, oh my goodness, we're only going to get 4 scripts this year. How are we going to choose a selection of scripts? And it just, it's more creativity and more ideas that are coming through, and really exciting work, and it makes it really difficult for the evaluators to actually choose the scripts that will be presented here. And so I'm really excited to see what is going on in the writers' heads this in this time, because we really need theatre that will inspire and that will stimulate and that will bring back the audiences to our theatres and to our festivals. Then, and to all the actors and directors that just said, yes, we will participate every year. Really thank you for your time, your effort, and your support to be part of the extracts and to just be part of this project, because the whole project is just about collaboration. It's about investigating, about talking about what is going on in our industry, what is going on in the zeitgeist of the time, what are our challenges, and thank you for all of you for being part of this. We've got more than 80 directors, writers, and actors performing over the next 3 days, which is incredible. It's almost a festival. So, yes, thank you. And then to the people who make it possible for us to present this, the Baxter Theatre, who's been a partner from the beginning, and Laura Foot, who is unfortunately in Germany performing at the moment with her groundbreaking play, Michael Kay, and which is getting rave reviews apparently. I'm sure Fahim Stanenburg will tell us more about that a little bit later on. So thank you, Laura Foot and the Baxter Theatre, Fahim, and the whole team for your support and for just being with us and presenting this every year and assisting us to grow this into something more and something really influential over the past 6 years. To die Nasionale Afrikaanse Theaterinitiatief, NATI. Dis moeilik met lang naam uit te sê as ek net voor dis aan NATI. Cornelia Vasen en jou direksielede wat hier so verteenwoordig is, ongelooflik baie dankie wat julle doen vir feeste, vir theater, vir die kunste oor die afgelope 6 jaar. Dit is al 6 jaar dat julle ook nie net betrokke is by Teksmark nie, maar ook as organisasie enorme invloed het. Ongelooflik baie dankie dat julle ons as feeste en die KAKNK en theaters en theatermakers ondersteun, vertrou en kanse waag op so baie dinge en meestal kom dit daarmee sukses uit. So dankie, ons waardeer julle ondersteuning, sonder julle sal ons nie kan doen. Het is ook wonderlik dat ons hierdie jaar die ondersteuning het van die Weskaapse regering, se departement van kuns, sport en kultuur. So dit is ook regtig fantasties. En ons waardeer dit so, minister Andre Marie, dat jy tyd maak om hier te wees. Ek is oortuig dat daar meer as een Andre Marie is, want as jy kyk op sosiale media, I mean, she's literally everywhere, all over the Western Cape. It's incredible, and Minister, thank you for just being there every single event. Nothing is not important enough for you. You are there on the ground, in the towns, and every single project. And I think as an arts community in the Western Cape, we notice and we appreciate that. Thank you for everything you're doing. It's also lovely that we've got a new partner in the Art Café. Gary is nog hier nie. So Gary Lemmer sal ons later by ons aansluit in die week. Baie dankie dat julle ook nou betrokke is by Teksmark. En ook alles wat hulle doen vir kuns en kultuur. The interesting thing about all of this is that a lot of these organizations seem that it's there for Afrikaans. And yes, in essence, it does support Afrikaans and Afrikaans theatre. But what is wonderful about all these organizations is that they do see the value of putting Afrikaans within a much bigger context and supporting South African culture. So it's not only about Afrikaans, it's about South African culture, and therefore you will see that a project like this, for instance, and festivals and production introductions, that these organizations, which seem like only Afrikaans, exclusively Afrikaans organizations, support Afrikaans, but within a bigger context, and it creates a wonderful opportunity to also support other languages and other cultures within a broader spectrum of South Africa and internationally, actually. So thank you for that kind of, I think we've moved beyond the very exclusive little circle of where we ons laar trek. And thank you for that. I also see Karen Meyer here today. Welkom Karen. Ek weet nie, is sy verteenwoordiger van Kyknet of nie? Maar welkom. Dit is baie lekker om jou vir eerste keer by Teksmark te hê. Aan al die verteenwoordigers van die feeste, daarso is Jana Harting van die Suidoostefees, Alexa Straggen van Aardklop is hierso, Saartjie Botha van die Woordfees is hier, die Toyota is Woordfees, jammer Saartjie, ek moet die volle titel gee. En daar's ook ander verteenwoordigers wat hierdie week kom van ander feeste en ook van ander theaters. Thank you for supporting, thank you for being here. Our industry now more than ever needs to work together to actually rebuild our industry and to support and to do what we want to do. Enough from me. Ek dink energie wat uitgelaat is aan ek dink nie so nie. Ek dink ons het nou die mense bedank wat ons help om dit te doen. Okay. En al die bekende gesigte en al die nuwe gesigte en ook die evalueerders wat hier so is, wat al die tekste moes deurlees en met soveel passie en deernis terugvoer gegee en regtig uiteindelik moeilike keuses moes maak, baie dankie. So, without further ado, I would like to just call Minister Andrew Murray to the stage for a few words.
Dankie, goeiemôre. Good morning, Moweni Nonkie. Dis maar wat ek altyd sê vir al 3 tale, want ons het mos so 'n groot issue oor die taal. Maar ek wil sê dit was opgewonde in wat ek vanoggend gekom het en dit is so lekker om fisies weer tussen mense te wees. En dit is nog lekkerder om tussen julle te wees want julle het absoluut daai kreatiewe energie wat mense voel en wat ons so nodig het. En soos ons almal weet, kom ons uit 'n geweldige traumatiese tydperk. En dit is ook die grootste trauma sedert Wêreldoorlog 2, die Tweede Wêreldoorlog, wat ons nou beleef. En hierdie nagevolge van die pandemie gaan nog lank met ons staan. En daarom is dit so ongelooflik belangrik, want studies het bewys dat jou betrokkenheid by kuns is beter op jou gestel as selfs sport. En ek wil dit noem, want die kunsmense sê altyd vir ander, julle doen so baie vir sport, julle almal sit vol in stadiums vir sport, te sê, mense, ons gaan ook daar kom, dat ons voor televisie sit, meer as wat ons kyk na springboeke. So, ek glo dit gaan nog gebeur. Christen en Agnes so. Maar ek wil sê, die studies het werklik bewys, dat jou betrokkenheid by kuns, maak jou meer bewus van jou welstand, jou emosionele welstand, van waar jy is met jouself, jou plek in die lewe. Jy is meer krities, positief krities, jy bevraagteken goed, en die belangrikste van alles vir my, is jy neem risiko's. Wat so belangrik is vir ons, neem die berekende risiko. Want jy is seker van jouself. En wat ook belangrik is, en waarom ek het so waardeer vir Teksmark, en al ons vennote, KAKNK, ATKV, NATI, Karen hulle, ek wil sê Woordfees, almal wat hier is, Jana hulle, almal wat hier is. Het is so wonderlik dat ons kan uiting gee aan ons gevoelens. Want as jy dit opbottel, ons weet almal, as jy jou gevoelens bedou, jy weet, op die ou ende, sit ons met oorvol psigiatriese hospitale, personeel wat nog is, en hierdie platforms skep vir ons aan geleenthede om gesonde individue te hê. En baie dankie vir julle wat deelneem en julle stories skryf. Ons het dit nodig. Al is dit 'n traumatiese storie. Mense vertel ons graag jou traumatiese storie en hoe jy daar uitgekom het. Dit is goed om jou storie te vertel en 'n drama dit te doen. En ek sê altyd, die kuns en kultuur het ek dink nie julle verstaan wat 'n mag julle het nie. Gebruik dit tot die voordeel van elkeen van ons. En ek wil sê die premier het ons departement getaak as die lead department, die hoofdepartement, om te kyk na die geestesgesondheid, die mental well-being van ons provinsie se mense, deur aktiwiteite en dit sê wat julle ook doen, vorm deel daarvan, so baie dankie. En ons is goed op pad om 'n gesonde provinsie te hê. Met gesonde mense, gesonde individue, wat sê wat hulle wil sê en leef wat hulle bedoel is om te wees. Baie dankie.
Minister, ons besef soms, ons besef wat se impak ons kan hê, ek dink daar's ander mense in die land wat dalk, ja, wat ons nie met vleis gesels en bietjie meer dat weet wat ons actually beteken. Waar is Sibokile nou? Goed. Dan is I'm now in Baxter territory, so usually I'll just introduce him as the chairman of Kunste on the Back and KKK, but I think here he's known as Lisa Son's husband, because Lisa is the chair of the Baxter Theatre. I would love to, and I just want to say, and those of you who don't know him, you'll know why I'm saying this. I did at one stage, I haven't spoken to him about it, but I thought if it's really going bad with KKK, we'll have to talk to Crispin Son, who I'll introduce now, to maybe just be om in te staan as iemand wat maak asof hy Barack Obama is. Ek dink ons kan baie geld maak as ons begin uit hier as 'n impersonator van Barack Obama. Maar baie jong Barack Obama, moet ek baie sê. Barack het nou 'n bietjie grys geword. So without further ado, iemand wat regtig die kunste en die KAKNK ondersteun het in die afgelope tyd, as dit nie vir hulle was nie, I think it would have been much more difficult for us to actually get through the past 2 years. En regtig wat ek net wil sê voor Kirsten opkom is dat mense direksies soos die KAKNK se direksie nodig wat regtig dwars deur dit alles gesê het, we need to look after our industry, we need to look after all the people who've been involved in our industry for the past 25 years as KAKNK, and that was their prerogative, and I put it down as a prerogative for me to really be able to do a lot of projects, any project that could in some other way put a few cents in someone's pocket over the past 2 years. And I want to thank you, Crispin, and the rest of the board for giving us that permission and just supporting us in all of that. So without further ado, Crispin Son.
Thanks. Good morning, everybody. I think I'm here to complete protocol. Hugo and the minister said it all, so thank you very much. Hugo, baie dankie vir daai woorde. En ek wil ook sê, we've already completed Hugo's performance appraisal earlier, so I had no reason to say all those other things. But ons het hierdie jaar...
It's not saying how it went.
Ons het hierdie jaar... vroeër in die jaar, ek dink het was Maart maand, Teksmark aangebied in Oudtshoorn. En dit was 'n fenomenale geleentheid. Ek dink dit was iets wat ons baie meer wil doen en ek dink vir die direksie het ons besef wat 'n waardevolle projek dit is. En so ek wil weer eens vir Hugo gelukwens met wat hy, Lizerne en Bernard hier aanbied. Hugo het al reeds vir almal verwelkom. Ek sien vir Sake, ek sien vir Karen, ek sien vir Alexa, ek sien vir Jana van Suidoosterfees, wie mis ek? En ek wil net vir julle bedank vir julle vennootskap in hierdie projek. Sonder julle, and without you, this is not possible. On reflection, I'm saying a few things. The two things that strike me, the two words that strike me being here today is resilience and tenacity. If there's ever been a time to show the resilience of the Arts Festival, it's looking in the room here and looking back at this in the last 2 years. It's been an incredibly, I hope books are going to be written about resilience and innovation, the ability to just keep things going when things just keep getting worse. Dinge raak erger and you just keep showing up. You just keep showing up. You go online, you find ways, crowdsourcing has been quite phenomenal. We're not quite there as an industry yet. Daar's nog baie goed wat ons moet regkry en ek dink Minister, you mentioned it. This is a critical industry in helping to restore just the social and psychological well-being of a community and a society that's come through trauma. And then, of course, tenacity. Tenacity because the fact that we're getting so many scripts is an indication that people are tenaciously stubborn in believing that there is a phenomenal place for the arts in our future. So the two words that strike me is our ability to be resilient to survive this, and the tenacity to dare to be hopeful about the future. Ek wil net twee ander mense gou uitsonder. Minister, jy het dit gesê, baie dankie. You've become a permanent fixture here, and we really appreciate that. En dan vir hom, my vrou Lise is nie die voorsitter van sy direksie, so ek hoor deurlopend wat by die Baxter aangaan, en ek is elke tweede aand hier so by 'n funksie by die Baxter. But I really do want to thank Fahim and Lara Foot. This, for a theatre like this, you don't know. I mean, I'm sure you know, but I know some of the detail. Just to survive, just to keep the doors open, and just to continue to be the institution that we so desperately need. We owe you a huge debt of gratitude, and for hosting us, thank you very much. And then, before I hand this mic back, I'm really excited to see the works that will come through. I don't know what's in the scripts, because I think we're all caught between that level of anxiety. One is, what will the content be? Are we going to go deep into the pandemic and COVID and that, or are we going to try and find relief and alternative out of it? So you're a real indicator of what audiences are looking for out there. You determine and give us a sense of what are people really looking for. So I'm really excited to listen to the scripts today and give us a sense of what people are excited to listen to. So baie dankie vir die geleentheid en ek dink my protokol is nou voltooi.
Baie dankie meneer Lisa Son. Dan wil ek graag vir hom, ek het gekyk of ek jou Tinder profiel kan kry sodat ek kan lees wat daar staan. I thought I'd do a little bit of promotion for you. I'm not sure what we're standing at the moment. Finding a Grinder for him is a wonderful, beautiful and really caring person. You can call me if you want his number, and he is available. For you.
Hello everybody, you're just saying all those things because 10 minutes before we started, he asked me to say something today. He's usually very organized, but we are delighted to welcome Minister Anna Murray, Board of Directors from NATI. I've always wanted to say that. All protocols observed, whatever. But it's great to have all of you here. I really am very, very pleased to see this kind of turnout, and we're looking very forward to this Teksmark this week. I think you knows, and I'd just like to also reiterate on stage that Teksmark for us is really one of our highlights of the year, for me personally and for the Baxter, because it deals with the development and the nurturing of our young storytellers and the different storytellers. We are particularly grateful that the focus of Teksmark has also changed to include other indigenous languages. I believe there's Xhosa, there's some Sotho on as well, and we can carry on, of course, there's lots of Afrikaans, which is perhaps an indigenous language by discussion. But it is very, very important for us that we help the development of young writers and young artists, to grow into a kind of arts society that we all, I think, want to thrive in. So we as the Baxter are delighted to have Teksmark here for the 6th year. We're very happy to see you all here. Dion de Beer, I forgot to say hello to you under the protocols observed, because that's one of my shivers. But absolutely, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time with us. And please don't forget that we've still got our Baxter Coffee Angels campaign going. we were talking about innovation, we were talking about resilience and stuff like that. I'd like to think that the Baxter is that example, because we have persevered and we have certainly, tried to bite the bullet in as many ways as we can. We've opened in between where we could just before the next waves or the various waves arrive. The great thing now is that there's such a fantastic appetite from the public, from the audiences. I think people are confident, they are more vaccinated. If you aren't vaccinated, please do get vaccinated. But our Baxter Confidentials campaign is a great help. It offsets so many of our losses, so much of our losses last year. And so if you are not yet a Baxter Coffee Angels, become one, please. The details are in the back of the book, or otherwise tell all your friends. Welcome, have a lekker time with us.
Thanks for him. Sorry.
Thanks for him. I have one more and then we can go into one of our plays. We try every year to get new partners and really broaden what we do, and it's always lovely it is a collaborative project, and it is lovely when someone like Daniel Galloway also phones you and says, hey, I've got this idea, and then a few months later it's actually a reality. So, and Daniel can't be here, but he sent a representative, Greg Kerbalas, who can come to stage in the meantime, who will tell you a little bit about a project that they're launching, and also something special that they're going to do with one of the scripts here from Teksmark at the end of this week. And I don't want to say too much. We all know Greg, you're still the artistic director of the If You Got Theatre to Me. You just don't have a theatre, I'm sorry. We'll sort that out. Speak to Funny. Call him. He's available. No, Grindr. You've got to go on the right app. Anyway, Greg, over to you.
Thanks, Iku. Hi, everyone. As Iku explained, Dan Galloway, along with Catherine Farmer from Blue Touch Productions, have created something called the Playwrights Laboratory. And what that is, it's an online platform which films rehearsed play readings and then distributes that amongst an international and national network of producers, artistic directors, theatre makers, actors, basically anybody who's involved in the theatre. The idea behind it is to really expose and give an opportunity to writers to present their work to a large amount of people. Many of us here who are currently working in theatre management, who look for work, know the challenge of finding work, right? And there's so much great work out there. I mean, these platforms, for instance, are incredible. But what you really want to do is be able to multiply that and to create a big enough platform so many, many eyes can see it. Locally, most importantly, but also internationally. I mean, I think that, and certainly something that was a lesson learned at the Few Guard, is that international co-production is really, really important. The Baxter know that as well. So that really is the idea behind the Playwrights Laboratory, is to create this online platform. It's recently launched, but already many, many theatres, both locally and internationally, are already members, which means the minute a filmed, rehearsed play reading goes onto that website, they're notified and they can actually access it. So instead of just reading the script, they can actually watch it and really get a sense of what it is. Membership is free to anybody in this room, whether you're an actor or if you're just interested in the theatre, if you're an artistic director, producer, an angel, a funder. So you just go straight to the playwrightslab.com. Sign up is free. And then the filming and the hosting, there are costs attached, but all of that is on the website. You guys can check that out. As Iku says, Car and TPL have now gone into a partnership, and to kind of celebrate that, what TPL are doing is offering one play from this year's Teksmark, a filmed, paid-for, rehearsed reading, which will then go onto TPL website and be hosted for a full 12 months. Woo! So that's really exciting. I guess like any network, it needs people to get involved. So I really, really encourage everybody here to go to the website, playwrightslab.com, and go and check it out and see the exciting work and see what partners are there and submit and get in touch. Those of you that know Dan Galloway, he's very good on email. The big message that they asked me to send is get in touch. All right. So yeah, very excited to see the work. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. And he will be around because he's watching every single play reading. So if you need to know anything more, just go to Greg and chat to him about it. Great. Well, I just saw that there's a gun on stage, so we're starting with a war. So let's start the war. I'm ready. So without further ado, kom ons stel ons eerste skrywer voor. Wilken, jy kan maar versigtig nader skryf, relax and nervous.
Microphone is not my friend.
Kom nader, Wilken. So die eerste stuk wat vandag wat Teksmark open, is ek baie opgewonde oor. Die naam daarvan is Arm Alarm en is geskryf deur Wilken Kalitz. Ons net vir Wilken 'n mikrofoon moet kry. En die eerste keer, Laura, bye, where are you? I'm supposed to be behind are you here? There's Laura. Laura, welcome for the first time in 6 years we got you here. You've got time to do it. So Laura directed the extract that you'll see, and it stars Brennan Daniels, Wiseman, Stolle, and Phil Allen van der Val. But I am handing over to you.
Thank you. This is indeed a war play, so you're not far off. Good morning, everybody. Thanks very much for the opportunity. What am I doing? I have to move forward. Is that for the camera? Thanks for adding stress. All right, let's get right into it. This is a bilingual play, so it can both be read as Arm Alarm and Arm Along. We can discuss the various interpretations in the Q&A afterwards, shoot that pop up. Okay, the setting is in a dark and damp apartment on the 7th floor of a building in a dystopian world. 3 snipers have been waiting for 2 weeks for instructions to take their shot. Their job is to assassinate the dictator of the ruling party, the Alphas. John, Vincent, and Chris are part of the Omegas, a resistance movement with the sole aim of overthrowing the government. Daddy Bullseye is a name that you'll be hearing, and he is the only father figure they ever knew. He feeds them information. He's head of info at headquarters. What happened is he plucked them out of an orphanage many years ago when they were still in their early teens, and he trained them for this one task, and very importantly, it's to save their people. The Omegas have been suppressed for years, stripped of their human rights, and they have to keep food and they're shot if they talk in the streets. Arm Alarm or Arm Along can be seen as a metaphor for normal people in society like South Africa, fighting against oppression and wanting a better life for themselves and their loved ones. One of the themes of the play is how people, when they face a crisis, turn against each other. In the context of the narrative, they know exactly what they don't want: poverty and living in fear. Cabin fever, which we all know, does weird things to your mind, and tasks which requires cool heads, when secrets are revealed, can turn to disaster in no time. Lastly, the performance is a combination of 2 scenes, but you'll be able to make sense of it. Thank you, Hugo. I'm just going to run to the sound desk.
How long are the queues today? Dis lank. Al 3 tyd daagliks wanneer die kospakkies afgehaal word. 6 in die oggend, 12 in die middag en 7 in die aand. Dis 'n pakkie per persoon of familie per dag en volgens my beskikbare inligting is dit 1000 mense per geleentheid.
En dan waar loop die king?
Ek weet nie, maar dit is altyd aan die regterkant van die straat af.
Hoekom?
Weer eens, geen idee nie.
What if he's in sight but masked by civilians?
Hy sal eventually weer in plain sight wees.
John, dis jou besluit of dit veilig is om te skiet.
Dis my call.
If I have line of sight, then now.
Vision is my krag, okay? Apparently is ek hier sien mos jy onder deesdae.
Look, as leader of the team and chief talks now, I'm always.
Man, los dit af.
Chris and I have most to lose. We have the most to lose, so you're not in a position to make a decision, okay?
Jy het vir Rebecca en vir Charlie, mense wat vir jou wag. En Chris het 'n vrou. Ek het my broer laas gesien toe ek 15 was, so moenie met my kom staan en kak praat van weet wat om te verloor nie. As hy een persoon is wat vir ons gaan kom red, is dit hy. Jy weet hy liewe nog nou daar in my mind.
Okay, dit dwaal van die punt af. Ons kry ons bevele van Daddy Bullseye af hoofkantoor. Dis hulle besluit. Okay. En ons verantwoordelikheid om hierdie taak af te handel, sou dit gevaar inhou vir enige lede van die publiek.
Okay, John. Let's say you've got your target, right? Crosshairs are aligned, die vector, humidity, kry van die bullet is reg, en your wind speed daar by die brug is solid, and then you fire.
Then we, our people, the bottom feeders, the omegas, the hungry, the right-minded will overtake the other side of the bridge and reverse the hierarchy. We'll storm the restaurants and slit the throats of the fancy dressed.
Okay, laat ek jou aan 'n soek sê. Wat is 'n persoon wat gister agter in die ry was, of selfs 3 dae gelede agter in die ry is, skielik voor die bullet om beweeg, hè? Is dit moontlik?
That is not applicable.
Hoeveel onskuldige lewens moet daar gesacrifice word om 'n victory te justify?
Jy het dwaal van die punt af. Wanneer ons tyd mors, weet as die kans dat nog 'n kind se lyk uit die huis
Man, ek gaan nie laat hy sy lyf God hou nie. What if one of your kids walk right in front of Mr. Big Shot, then what?
That is why I'm the leader of the group. Just so that split-second moral decision
Fuck
can be
that!
made.
En wat van jou, Chris, hè? Is jy bereid om te sien hoe Maria bloei?
Look, guys, I have had enough of this.
Okay, daar is dalk 'n oplossing. John, wat 'n groep is jou familie opgetree?
Groep 1.
Ek en my vrou is in 3. Vincent?
Groep 2.
Okay. So, dit beteken daar's 1 uit 1000 kans dat een van ons familielede iets gaan oorkom.
You can't shoot if my group is killing.
Hoekom nie?
My daughter is 5 years old and my son is 7. They'll die in the stampede.
Vrouens se kinders kry eers kos. Dit beteken hulle sal halfpad huis toe wees. Sou daar 'n storm wees.
No, but if they're in front of the queue, then they have no chance of escaping. You know, because of the narrowing of the street, it will cause a bottleneck. And this building is closed off on either side, with no side alleys.
Hy beteken my broer sal agter die tou wees. Right daar by die kingpin kyk en al sy full pasal manskappe en vol aanvoers hulle job doen terwyl hy sy caviar champagne afsluk.
We'll wait until the line is shot.
John, dan is daar 'n goeie kans dat hy reeds by die restaurant ingestap het. Maar sy roetines is nie in sement gegiet.
So he can be anywhere, at any time, possibly wearing a hat, walking on the right side of the street, or possibly walking through a door somewhere. Get a word. Footsteps in the corridor. I'm going out.
Okay, ek gaan venster toe.
Wow, luister goed. Niemand weet ons is hier nie, okay? Luister, ek weet ek was 'n doos voorheen, ek is sorry daaroor, maar as een van ons nou daar uitgaan, is dit verby met ons. So how about we just breathe easy? It's just no hour. Okay? As op die donderdag van hulle wat skuil aan die regterkant. Hulle weet ons is hier.
Where is my gun?
Stay down and shut up. Chris, bly waar jy is. Chris, for fuck's sake, bly waar jy is.
He can't hear.
Okay, somebody call headquarters. Ask them to send backup. Hier's nog troepe in ons rigting.
Okay, just get at them. We have to retaliate. Okay. Here we go. I get in on target. Let the chaos begin. Fuck is it done? Yes, sir. When? I'll convey the information. Guys, we have to do it. Detonate the bomb. Chris's wife has been murdered, and they know where my children are. Fuck that, ek gaan skiet. Ek het 'n jaar op 'n plaas van vrot sodat ek myself nie vir die reens kan blaas nie. Wanneer at the morning, guys, if we don't do it, they'll kill my family too, and your brother. That doesn't matter. Who say do it? Strangle. Look, guys, we have to do this. We have to detonate the bomb. Because if they find us alive, then they'll kill my children. And if they find one of you guys alive, then that jeopardizes my children's chance of survival. Yes. Ons moet nou oorgaan tot aksie, okay? Hulle gaan backup stuur. Yes. His wife is dead. Dan sê hom dat jouself dat iemand sê vir oor die foon om jouself op te blaas en sy sê dit Jesus nou se die regte waarheid praat. Daddy, Chris, you. As if you're the one to be trusted. Wat is hy supposed to mean?
Vincent, ek het nou die dag met iemand in die straat sien en praat.
Was om kos te organise?
Waar is die kos?
We nog nie gedaan word. Was supposed om 'n surprise te wees. Really ungrateful bastards. Luister, ons van die kant. Al gaan ons by die regte kant uit, dan is nog 'n kans.
Suppose they catch us, guys. Then we will be hanged in public, possibly with my children watching, guys. Look, we have to detonate the bomb. That is what David Paul's eye told us to do if our mission is compromised. Chris, what is the code? Look, if we are found alive, then my children will be killed. But then if I'm dead, then they stand a chance of survival, guys. Look, if they catch you, then that jeopardizes the chance of their survival. Look, they will torture you and get all the information out of you in no time.
John Steele, hoofkantoor bystaan.
Well, they didn't say. And to any right-minded human being, that means no. Whatever else they gave us this bomb.
Die lyn is af.
Dit is samenswyn. Ek wil op my broer sien.
Look, guys, Chris, you must give me the code, man. You have nothing left. Your wife is dead. Just give me the code.
As ek net sit om voor te lewer en dan maak dit seker nie saak hoe ek dood gaan nie, maar ek gaan nie toelaat dat jy die besluit maak nie. Hæ? Wie was dit, hè? Wie van julle my vrou gewerk? Wat is jy? Of jy? Wie die fok was dat jy my fucking dood gaan? Hæ?
It's gone. Guys, what happened to our brotherhood? Huh? One for all and all for one.
My gun is me. Ek gaan jou fucking skrap as ek by hier is.
Guys, I'm going to do it for all of us. Chris, what is the code?
Dis dit. Jy het ons verraai, dan sal my vrou nog geleef het. Met wie het jy in die straat gepraat?
John, I said we kill Chris. You go down to the car, you can wait there, you can use the key that I give on the front tire.
Op my stedels is weggesteek op 'n ander plek en net ek het die kode van die bom. Al wat ek wil doen is iemand se brein uitskiet.
Chris, please, just give me the code. We are not getting out of here. I'm going to the basement and detonating the bomb. Give me the fucking code!
Take op weg vanuit hier!
applaus te kry. Ons het dit gemis. Om die goeie in te kry. Laura and Wilkin, will you come to the stage? Do you have to go? All right, bye. Thank you, Laura. It was wonderful to have you here. Let's have lunch sometime. Wilkin, jy is op jou eie. Saam met die akteurs, so jy sal ondersteun. So, terwyl ons wag net dat julle en Kanja, julle kan begin opstel so agter aan die agterkant. Waar is Kanja? O, ja, Kanja, so julle kan maar so stadig gaan begin opstel waar julle kan. Wat ek vir julle waarskynlik wil net duidelik maak is, so the whole idea of Teksmark is nie dat dit 'n kompetisie is. Dit is nie 'n kompetisie om die beste teks te kies of daar's baie van die tekste wat volledig geskryf is, daar's baie tekste wat net uitbreksels is. Wat alreeds geskryf is. Dit is tekstidees, script ideas that are presented. En script maak hierdie Teksmark is regtig 'n mark vir tekstidees om dit verder te ontwikkel. Daarom is daar 'n klomp feesvier, daarom is daar 'n klomp ander mense waarvoor mense uiteindelik die opnames sal stuur om te kyk, kan 'n mens, jy weet, is daar mense wat belangstel om die tekste te ontwikkel. Die regte van die tekste bly by die skrywer, enige onderhandelings bly by die skrywer. Die performance wat betrokke is, dit hang van die skrywer af, om te negotiate met die producers of iemand wat sou belangstel om te decide wie is eintlik betrokke en so. So daai is alles 'n aparte proses. Wat julle hier sien by Teksmark is voorstellings, it's representations, and then I also just want to say on behalf of all the actors, it's play readings. So if you see someone with a script in their hand, it's not because they're unprofessional, they're allowed to. It's just a play reading. So yeah, dit is net van my kant af. Wat kan jy van my sê?
Cool. I think Wiseman is going to join me. They're just changing.
And it's
Is this the hot seat?
the hot seat, yeah. You just there, and there's Will Allen and Brendan also going to join.
I don't know.
Will Allen, Brendan, gaan julle ons ook join asseblief?
I think they might be off to other rehearsals.
Anyway. But Wilkin, I think the groot ding is ook, and it's really important, I mean, this is the time to ask questions about the play, om regtig julle vrae te ondersoek te stel. So sit Wilkin is nie ondervraging nie, dis nie, it's a discussion, so relax. Sê gou vir my, wanneer het jy die teks begin skryf, en hoekom het jy gedink dit moet geskryf word?
Dit was einde laas jaar. Dit is deel van die Woordfees Tekslab in Saartjie. Ja, die Woordfees Tekslab is 'n inisiatief wat tot stand gebring is om vir skrywers die geleentheid te gee om saam met ander of met professionele mense in die industrie saam te werk om jou teks klaar te maak. Leanne van Roy was die akteur of aktrise wat ons touwys gemaak het oor wat is dit wat akteur wil hê in 'n teks, wat werk. En James Honeyman was daar in 'n regisseurshoedanigheid en skryf hy in Saartjie as 'n skrywer mentor. So dit was einde laas jaar en die teks bietjie ontwikkel en aangepas vir die afgelope paar maande. So die teks is klaar, dit is om by 60 minute, 70 minute, so dit is 'n volledige teks, ons noem hy vir hierdie uittreksel geneem.
En so met ander woorde, en voel jy is die teks reg? Voel jy jou taak is klaar daarmee? So ons kan dit aanstuur vir klomp mense om te lees.
Ja, daar's 'n paar spelfoute, maar as jy oor kan lees, is fyn.
Ek sê, hello.
Hello.
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating. So you obviously got the script called, you had none of the process that Wilkin went through. How do you feel about the script? Do you think it should be performed? Is it exciting for you, and why?
My first impression was that it is actually like a film script, this is something, so much action and whatever going on stage. But then looking at the theme and having spoken to him, just before the rehearsals. I think it needs to be performed because it has a relevant theme. Because as he says, this group of people, compared to what is happening in our country, or what happened just recently happened with the looting and what have you that I saw. It is like, we are sitting on a time bomb, you know what I mean, with people, hungry people, the bottom feeders, as I say in the scripture. What happened during those, during the looting, people are hungry, you see, so it's relevant in that way. And we don't know what might happen when people have had enough, maybe they will do exactly what these guys are doing, and and with that, there were leaders, faceless leaders, you see, like the Bullseye, that actually started this whole thing. So it is relevant in that way.
And it's wonderful that you play with language, and it's so natural that it comes through English, Afrikaans, and you've got other languages included as well, or you want to include other languages, right?
No, that's
it. English and Afrikaans. English and Afrikaans, yeah, I'm not sure why. Because I spoke to Laura about this earlier. I think there are two reasons. First of all, it is a metaphor for South Africa, and South Africa is not only Afrikaans. Afrikaans and English, and also to broaden the possible market for audiences. So there's not English and Afrikaans. And Laura also said her son plays war games all the time, and they're friends as well. So she said, well, she thinks younger people will come and see the play because it's the closest thing they have to online gaming.
But if you say that Afrikaans and English, why not bring in another language?
I don't know any other languages, so that's basically it. Yeah, I feel comfortable with English and Afrikaans. So if that is the question, then that's the only reason I'm not that fluent in French yet or anything else. But with that, I said to the actors before the time, take the text, because in my opinion, the writer is dead or with one foot in the grave. You can still be consulted for tweaks, but I gave them the script and said, make the words your own, right? That was the first brief. So that kind of leaves the door open for actors to change the words into another language, their first language. Well, what is your first language?
It says Zulu.
So he is free to change that, and as long as the context of the play doesn't necessarily change with his changes, I'm more than happy to allow that.
The full script also has a lot of humor in it throughout.
I think there are two instances where it might be humorous. But this is I've always wanted to write, for lack of a better term, like a dude play. Like high octane, testosterone driven balls to the wall. And that is, we wanted to do it, and I thought, well, a war situation. And also that movie, I don't know if you've seen it, The Hurt Locker, by, is it Bigelow's? Yeah. That was that made a big impact on me, and that's why I think Laura is a great choice director for this, because she adds a sensitivity, because it's not only shouting and bombs going off, it should be a finely nuanced brotherhood, and they don't hate each other, but it's because of the tense situation. And like Wiseman said, that is South Africa. Is a tense situation, but we're not stripped of our humanness, of wanting interpersonal relationships.
Personally, I think you can push the satire a little bit more in your play. That's mine, we can talk about it later. All right, I would love to hear from people who actually read the play. Unfortunately, very few sitting here has had the opportunity to do that. So, Johan de Beer, ek gaan jou op die spot sit. Ons het dan nie nog iets, ek gaan my mikrofoon vir jou gee. Ons moet net geskoot. Van my bou.
Ek het nog gedink dis 'n lekker plek om mee te begin, want as gevolg van die aksie into the action immediate. So you go away. Ek het baie daarvan gehou van dit. It's something completely different, but en ek het nog gehou van die play, which if you know me, is quite unusual. So you pulled it off of someone who started to say, I don't know. But I thought it worked, and I thought it worked because of the relevance in themes. Because and I don't actually agree that it's South Africa. I think COVID has shown us it's the world.
Yeah.
No one does it well when they bring in vaccinations or anything. I mean, they can't agree about living. So, I liked all of that. Like the diversity of the language, like the diversity of the players, and I think that was nice in the South African context. En ek het ook altyd gedink oor, jy weet, 'n ander taal. It is sad because so many of us don't understand all the languages. And I wish we could find a solution for that. But yeah, I think it's definitely one that I think would work. And for
Verseerde taalklasse vir almal. In al die tale.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
I think that's one of the positives of the text lab, the Scribe lab, is that you have an opportunity to write and work with actors. I mean, this was a very special process in that it's not a script you have to write it in 2 weeks and then it's performed at a festival. That's also a positive thing to keep to the deadline, to just go for it. But in this case, as I said, you had the script open. I mean, I'm an architect with words. I don't know what the house is going to look like, right? And that opens the door for example, you go, most of this is in English, but actually you like changing it. Let's read it. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Are you happy with that? Yeah, that sounds good. And that's, I think that's possibly one step in the right direction of diversifying the language of South African scripts.
Any questions? Anyone that wants to make a comment, you're more than welcome right here.
Hello, thank you very much. I came late, so I only saw the last bit of the play.
Please also introduce yourself.
My name is Heike, Heike Kieran. But I do want to make a comment on the language, because that's my speciality. So that's what I'm doing. I did my thesis on that. So I think, first of all, yes, definitely, it was great. It really struck me immediately that you used 2 languages, and I was asking myself, where's the third, fourth, maybe even. But I think the answer in bridging is action. And this is an action-driven play, just a little bit I saw. So that's already great. And we were talking about computer games or whatever, we relate to action. So we can get away a lot with action, so that we don't always have to understand the language because we understand the action. So it's just a solution. I know it sounds simple, but it can work actually. And of course, languages don't have to be pure. So we can dip in and out so that one understands bits of it and not all of it. Which is sort of like the play, there's so much mystery, so that language confusion or gaps could also perhaps add to the tension. It's just a thought.
Okay.
Thanks.
Other comments, questions? Anyone? Yeah. Cornelia? I tell Cornelia I'm going to put her on the spot the whole day. No. Last comments from you. Any last?
Well, Wiseman is a much better public speaker than I am, so I'm going to hand the mic without further ado to Wiseman.
Putting me on the spot. Yeah. All I can say, thank you very much to the people who organized this.
It's nice to see some faces that I'm familiar with, a few others. And it was so nice. I was downstairs smoking, and I had you guys outside and just hearing people, chatting about to enter a theater. It was amazing. So thank you very much for this opportunity. That's all I can say.
Also, thank you, Will Adam and Brendan and Laura. I had to run off to do other things. It was a privilege to work with now that left. It's a privilege to work with all of them, and good luck with the rest of the festival. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So glad you're calling it a festival. It sounds wonderful. Ja, saak jy die woordfees Teksmark moet ek nader beweeg in Teksmark, joh. So mag gesels. Daar's energie. Dis 'n oorweldigende ja van Saartjie daar. Nee, nie regtig nie, sy skiet op kop. Ons sal later praat Saartjie. Online is 'n collaborative, it's like song, ag sê dit maar net, just open for discussion later. Ja, natuurlijk. Het ons 'n mikrofoon. Waar is die ander mikrofoon? Voor, daar. Ons kan jy nie hoor nie, Saartjie. Selfs in normale omstandighede fluister jy.
Ja, ek dink maar net, dit is baie interessant vir my dat almal is besig met teksontwikkeling, maar dit is ons groot behoefte. Ons behoefte aan webwerf en regisseurs. En ek dink almal het ook 'n nis gevind in hoe dit daar's 'n jong sterre skryfprojek wat met 'n residensie werk. Ons projek is 'n laboratoriumprojek. Dit is 'n projek wat oor 'n langer tydperk gaan en ons het dit eintlik gedoen om skryfspraktaal toe in die kon werk. Sodat ons vir elke draad wat ingegee kon nou betaal word en ons skuld hulle nog 'n volledige deurlees van die tekste. Dit sal nie noodwendig publieke geleentheid wees nie, maar ek dink ook ons kan ons tekste kwaliteit baie verbeter as ons 'n volledige deurlees van die teks het voor die publiek gaan. So absoluut. En ek dink uiteindelik moet ons net die timing in die plek en die jaar reg kry dat die een ding lei tot 'n volgende ding, lei tot 'n volgende ding, sodat ons uiteindelik wat ons fees kan aanbied 'n volledige en aanpassende teks het.
Absoluut.
Maar ek love Teksmark.
Omdat jy nie in die publiek is, kan ek nie dieselfde sê nie, because I don't know what's going on there. Joking, volgende keer. Wat die readings gebeur.
Geleentheid om net geconfronteerd te word met 'n klomp idees. Dis wonderlik. Almal is geskryf, dis fantasties. Almal sit sommer klaar 'n bietjie reg.
Yeah, the thing is, I think this, we can talk a lot about script developing in the process, and there's different kinds, but it is extremely important to take a journey with a writer. In whatever way and what that writer, different writers needs a different process. I think this video, en ek dink dit is belangrik om te werk saam met akteurs, saam met verskillende opinies. That's originally why Teksmark started, is so dat skryvers op hulle eie sit en jy sit so en jy skryf die volle teks, probeer dit verkoop aan mense, try to sell it to people, and then no one is interested, and then you just have to put it in the drawer and it's never performed. Maar as daar iets aan gewerk is, daar's miskien 'n goeie idee, dit word net nie reg geformuleer nie, en ander mense kan nie help. So dit is waar al die projekte gaan. Alright, Kanya, het julle met julle enige ander setup doen hier? Is dit dit? Okay, fantasties. So die volgende skrywer is Bauke Snyman. Hy is 'n Suid-Afrikaner, maar hy bly en leef in Australië. So hy kan nie lees nie. Hy het wel, hy gaan wel verduidelik, hy is baie gelukkig en baie veilig waar hy is, want hulle het in die deel van Australië waar hy bly, het hulle al hulle borders toegemaak. So hulle is baie gelukkig en hulle kan vir hulle self ekonomies sorg. So hy is gesond en ons het met hom 'n opname gemaak en Kanya, ek dink ons gaan hom laat inskakel aan die einde, dat hy met ons kan praat. Nou, ons het hom op Zoom, dit is fantasties. So, gelukkig gaan ons hom opneem. Bauke gaan sy eie woorde sê, so ek gee oor aan Kanya en Bauke.
Hallo almal. Ek sê Simon en ek sê ander kan vandag daar by julle wees nie. So mense op dit graag daar wou gewees het. Brandasem het begin as gevolg van natuurlik COVID-19 of die coronavirus. En wat my die idee ontstaan het van is die hele kwessie van die plaag of die pandemie. Want gewoonlik in die Griekse tragedies is die pandemie of 'n plaag gebruik om die vrotheid in die samelewing bloot te lê. So vir my ook het dit duidelik geword met die COVID-19 laat daar regtig vrotkolle in die samelewing is wat ontbloot is deur hierdie pandemie. Ek het gegaan in gevolg wat gesê het dat ons 'n plaag nodig het, dat die samelewing gereeld hierdie plaag moet hê, sodat hulle die vrotkolle kan ontbloot. En die kunstenaar is brand nodig om hierdie vrotkolle te ontbloot. Gewoonlik in 'n Griekse tragedie is die gevolg van 'n plaag is gewoonlik as gevolg van die koningshuis of die familie of selfs die gode. In my teks het ek besluit om op die familie te fokus. Die rede hoekom ek op die familie gefokus het was met die begin van die skryf van die teks het die storie van George Floyd ontplof op sosiale media en ek was gou verras oor hoeveel van my vriende en familielede het die swart kol geplaas op hulle Facebook en Instagram en dit ondersteun. Maar eintlik het ek geweet, daar is diep rassistiese strominge in hulle lewens. Soos byvoorbeeld in my familie is daar baie mense wat in die weermag was, of wat in die lugmag was, en selfs in die polisie was, tydens apartheid. En baie van hulle het tot in die townships gewerk, tydens daai tyd. En hulle verwys nog steeds na die tyd in die weermag en in die polisie as die beste jare van hulle lewe. En sodra die ram en kook begin vloei, dan kom die rassistiese streek duidelik uit. Maar die hele diens in die polisie en in die weermag word heeltyd weggesteek. Ons word nie daaroor, dit is half die typiese Afrikaanse houding van ons praat nie daaroor nie. So, maar intussen gee die beeld voor dat alles alright is. En dit is ook wat ek in my teks wil doen oor die rede van die plaag lê in die familie wat dit wegsteek. So dit was half die een rede wat gelei het tot die teks. Die tweede was, ek het begin Judith Butler se literatuur te lees oor grievable and grievability, waar sy argumenteer teen die samelewingshouding dat ons net sekere geslagte, sekere rasse en sekere klasse rou as daar 'n noodlot hulle tref of as hulle doodgaan, maar ander ignoreer ons. En ek het ook daaroor begin dink en dit veral gebring in verband met die farmaseutiese maatskappye. Ek onthou in Suid-Afrika as ons gaan in 'n arm gemeenskap en jy gaan na 'n winkeltjie, na die Spaza shops toe, dan was daar die gewone brood en melk en die basiese goeder daarso, maar dan agter die toonbank was daar altyd rye en rye grandpa koeiers. En grandpa was die enigste toegang vir die mense gewees as hulle 'n mediese probleem gehad het. Terwyl die mees gesofistikeerde medikasie was nog steeds beperk tot die middel- en die hoë inkomste groepe in Suid-Afrika. So dit was so half in die arm gemeenskappe die houding was dat hulle lewens minder beteken as die middel- of die hoë inkomste groepe. Dat farmaseutiese maatskappye sal hulle lewens red, die hoë en middel-inkomste groepe, maar die arm gemeenskappe is amper, dit is nie nodig genoeg nie. En dit het ook gou gesien toe die enstof ontwikkel is in die wêreld. Laat die enstof onmiddellik gegaan het vir die eerste wêreldlande, want hulle het miljoene gekoop en so hulle kon dit bekostig en dit is ook gou versprei. Ek wat in Australië byvoorbeeld, laat ons nou omtrent 2 maande is vanaf ons enstof beskikbaar gestel het aan die gemeenskap en binne 2 maande is omtrent 90% van die bevolking en enstof gekry. So dit is baie vinnig versprei. Daar was 'n ander krisis van 'n enstof wat beskikbaar gestel is in Australië wat toe onttrek is. Daai enstof intussen wat die enstof nie op 'n veldgoedjaar geëindig het nie, is dit gestuur na derde wêreldlande toe waar dit beskikbaar gestel is aan daai mense. So ek weer eens van dit was nie so belangrik nie, hulle lewens is nie so belangrik nie. So dit was al die argument waarop bou. Dan die hele styl van my teks is gebaseer op, soos wat ons nou kommunikeer, deur die liggaam of deur die internet, deur die gebroke kommunikasie wat plaasvind daagliks wat ons moet kommunikeer op Zoom of op Teams of wat se kommunikasie ons ook al gebruik. Daardie frustrerende kommunikasie wat vashak, wat geblur is op mense wat nie 'n mikrofone aansit nie, of kameras aansit nie, of vreemde agtergronde kies vir hulle kommunikasie. So dit my styl invloed van brandasem. Ja, brandasem is basies net vir ons lewe die afgelope 2 jaar was asem so 'n ding in ons gemeenskap in die wêreld gewees, die hele struggle om asem te haal. So dit is hoekom die titel op brandasem is. Dit is dat ons brand om asem te haal, maar ook in die asemhaling laat ons pyn veroorsaak met die asem wat jy uitasemhaal. Maar ook met die inasem van die pyn wat dit veroorsaak om partykeer in sekere situasies wat dit is, wat pynlik is om te oorleef in daai situasie. So dit is basies brandasem, ek hoop julle geniet dit baie. Dankie.
Gat van 'n man. Pipa, ek wil hierdie hondegevegte sien die wet.
Nee, nie meer. Nadat die TV net government presies vir more stories moes begin net die mense na aan die tuin begin soek. Stripclubs, kabelshooting plekke en alle ander dobbelhole uit hulle na te begin was. Perde, hongerane en die honde het die arme mense se service opgevlits soos 'n spul whitewaters op hulle cheetah. Menige van ons ou mense sit met hulle gaai op die straat opgeëindig op die plekke. Pipa! Stop met waar jy is.
Ek sien. Dis 3 Rottweilers, wat gaan ons doen?
Niks doen nie.
Moet ek hulle net oopkyk of moet ek hulle ignoreer?
Hoe moet ek weet?
Lyk ek miskien vir jou soos 'n damesbrug. Ek het iewers gehoor 'n mens moet vir hulle teruggrom. Jy doen dit nie, as jy dit doen, skiet ek jou en die honde frik. Ons kan nie net hier staan nie. En hoekom nie?
Daar.
Dankie.
Wat maak jullie?
As jy Pipa,
Dis jy.
dis van die polisie, kaptein Andrea.
Wat soek julle hier?
Ons is op soek na Pipa. Ons wil net so 'n bietjie met hom praat.
Ek ken ons weer.
Ek ken jou nie.
Shut up, Amanda! Sir, toe daai werkie van jou nog nie 'n piep van jou keel gaan daar onder.
I'm the bad guy.
Is jy veilig? Is jy seker niemand het jou gevolg nie?
Vervloek is hy met agterkant gordyntjies en toegesluite deure.
Wat is dit nou met jou? Hoe praat jy van kantgordyntjies nie?
Vervloek is hy met agterkant gordyntjies.
Alles afgebrand.
Vervloek is hy met agterkant gordyntjies en toegesluite deure. Die geseënde van die Here se vlerke skroei. Die hittegolf gaan 'n vuur word wat onkruid en indringerbos tot in hulle wortel gaan verteer.
Ja, dit alles afgebrand. Ons sal dit weer regmaak, verseker my.
Honde van buite die stadsmure sal jou kinders verskeur, maar nog gaan hulle honger rondhardloop in jou strate.
Kersie?
Honde van buite die stadsmure gaan jou kinders verskeur, maar nog gaan hulle rondhardloop in jou strate.
Kersie, wat gaan met jou, my kind?
Honde.
Waarom klink my kind soos 'n vasgehakte grammofoonplaat?
Honde.
Waar is die kop? Ag, kom met jou, dis nie vandag tyd vir 'n kop uithak nie. Wat is volgende? Tsunami! Beter, nou kan 'n mens weer reguit dink. Is jy alright, my kind?
Ek het verdwaal.
Wat verdwaal?
Ja, ek weet net waar ek is.
Dit is mos onmoontlik en daai baie kan hoeveel keer gery?
En toe die slangetjies in my ore begin fluister, jou honde.
Jammer Antie, ek wou nie vir Antie skrik maak nie.
Wie is jy? Wat soek jy?
Versekering! Talibus versekering.
Talibus, ons verseker huis en hart. Talibus, van brak tot ouma in die jaard. Talibus, moenie huil nie, moenie vaart. Talibus, nommer 1 versekeraar. Goeie speel is vandag, ek het nog nie eens gebel nie.
Foei toch. Antie, wat het dan nou hier geloop staan gebeur?
Ketel op die stoof, olie in die pan, heater op die donskombers, op sy kers by die kant gordyn, of het jy 'n bring en braai in 'n fireworks factory gehou? Wat?
Gee daarvan. Daar's baie stupid mense daar buite.
Wat gaan aan met die meisiekind? Hoekom lê sy so in roet en as? Sy knip 'n uiltjie. Luister. Dit was vrek nice van julle om so vinnig hier by my te opdoen. Maar ek het self nog eens kans gehad om te kyk wat ek anders in die brand.
Ek wil nou nie hoespoep of skinder nie, maar dit smaak vir my, Antie het pretty much alles in die vuurvloer. Ja, die huis en die stalle.
My perde!
Die stoorkamers en die lab.
Wat?
Die lab.
Wat weet jy van my laboratorium?
En kyk, hier op die insurance papiere staan beroep apteker.
Ja?
Ja, by Talibus versekering doen ons homework. Maar wat is ons nou weer?
Nommer 1 en versekeraar.
Daarom weet ons van die rehabiliteit, ja.
Luister, ek wil hê julle moet liewers gaan.
Stop jou kap, Antie. Waar is jou medisyne?
Insurance, my gat.
Waar is jou medisyne?
Dis weg. Dit kan is verbrand in die vuur.
Dan soek ons die resepie vir die medisyne.
Daar is nie 'n resepie nie.
Dit hoe dit nou gaan werk. Die Antie se mond is nou toegestop en toegenaai. Kom, vat die gang. Gewoonlik as mammie se bekkies 'n bietjie lazy is, bepraat dan help dit om die kinders so 'n bietjie te karnuffel. Kom, plop, opstaan. Staan.
Los uit. Sy weet niks.
Wat sê jy? Nee. Jy moet harder praat, die oopie kan nie so lekker hoor nie. Ek sê praat harder, plop.
Skop sy sal nie kan praat nie.
Die Antie het nou soveel strong stories al vertel, dit lyk my die meisiekind is lus vir lekker speel. Kom, praat met die oopie. Ek sê praat.
Die honde van buite. Die honde van buite.
Ma, is dit jy? Ja, Lientjie, dis ek. Ma, wat? Is die Lientjie? Ek luister. Maar wat gaan hier aan? Wat soek ma alleen in die stalle? Louis, shit! Dis aanddiens. Hoekom is ma in 'n rolstoel? Hier kom die einde. Dis allemaal mooi. Een van my gunstelinge gesang 177. Jy geweet, dis een van die gewildste gesange by begrafnisse. Ek kan nie eers stel hoeveel kere ek dit gesing het met 'n bosie rose wat in 'n graf in verdwyn nie. Graf. Maar ons moet praat. Het jy gehoor Cassie is dood? Wat? Ja. Natuurlijk weet ek, maar. My dogtertjie, my kind is dood. Daar, ma. Die 4de dag kom al. Vergeet nou daar. Vuur. Los nou vir klas. Okay, ek wil praat met jou oor my. Maar jy probeer nie my onskuldige magtelose prinsesie te word nie. Ek speel niks nie, ek wil net die waarheid. Altyd net oor jou. Wie leer? Jy is seker trots op jou dogter die leer. Waar was jy die dag wat Cassie in daai vuur ingeloop het? Dit is soos 'n slek met 'n piep klein baaibroekie op 'n verhoog voor 'n skare mans paradeer. Maar my dan aangemoedig. Maar die waarheid kom altyd uit. Ja, dis presies hoekom ek hier is. Ons moet praat, maar die skoonmakery en wegpakkery van Cassie se kamer het ek afgekom op dit. Onder haar bed. Net soos 'n eekhoorntjie het sy kannetjies petrol versamel. So sê ek beplan. Jy sien, party predikers gebruik heilige water, rook en olie en sy petrol en vuur gebruik. Nooit aan haarself gedink nie. Altyd oor ander mense, die blessed se kerk. Maar sy was in soveel pyn. Maar wat 'n pyn praat maar van. Cassie, asseblief my kind, Cassie sit daai lanterne neer. Maar asseblief. Cassie,
Asseblief. Het jy gehoor my dogter Cassie is dood? Wie is jy? Ek is Helene. Helene, my kind, wanneer het jy gekom? Jy moes laat weet dat jy kom inloer, want ek vir ons iets lekkers gebak. Dit is verskriklik. Die pyn waardeur daai kind van my gegaan het. Wat so goed maak. Daai die aand wat hulle ons huis afgebrand het. Jy kon onthou. Hulle het vreeslike goed en haar gedoen. Ek weet. So jy het geweet. Jy het geweet. Jou bloody teef, jy het geweet. Ja, en dis jy wat dit gedoen het. Dis jy. Dis jy wat haar in die middel van die nag gestuur het om jou vuil wasgoed te loop was. Dis jy wat dit aan haar gedoen het. Jy het haar is verantwoordelik vir haar dood. Kom na my toe, my kind. Kom Isa, kom weg af van die vuur. Iemand, help, sy keer af, sy loop in die vuur in. Sy loop in die vuur in, iemand help, Cassie! Ek dink ek moet gaan. Ja, is beter. Ek heb 'n bietjie gaan perdry. Maak hom mos nie meer ry nie. Ek ry dan elke dag. Maar wat het van die medisyne geword? Wat 'n medisyne het jy hoef my? Nee. Die medisyne wat maar ontwikkel het vir die longkwal. O. Die beste medisyne vir die bors. Die beste medisyne is kamfer, peppermint en bloekom in kookwater en jy haal dit diep in. Ek moet nou gaan. Jy moet veilig ry. My kind en bel my asseblief sodra jy by die huis. So. Ma, wat doen jy? Ek moet die mense gaan waarsku. Wat? Ek moet die mense gaan waarsku. Wat 'n mense? Die pies. Waarsku van wat? Die pies is op pad. Hy klop aan ons deure. Die besmetting gaan op ons land val soos perdedrolle. Kom sit hy by. Help my met die perd. Nou hier die magtig, ze staan nog in de gapie. Help my! Sê. Laat ek 'n nasie gaan red. Wag, mami. Wat is dit nou? Kan jy nie sien ek is op 'n kruistog nie? Wat is dit daai?
Peppermint, kamfer en bloekom.
O, dis nou 'n goeie idee. Het sal my beskerm teen die pies. Ja, sê nou, is ek reg vir die lang pad.
Sy groete vir Cassie.
My
hardloop nie, as hulle net 5 minute kan met ons praat, so dit baie goed is. Kom terug. Kanja, gaan jy nou vir Balke? Ek wens julle kon Balke gesien het, hy die wonderlikste brille opgehad. Mens kon nie lekker vir Balke sien. Hy die fantastiese brille gehad, ek wens ek kon nog weer wegkom, maar ek dink ons gaan dalk net, as ons net sy klank kan kry, want dit gaan nie help, ons gaan hom probeer ongelukkig. So, sommer tussentyd, terwyl ons wag vir Kanja wat gou die Zoom reg kry en dat ons gaan met Balke kan praat. Gedagtes van enigiemand, vrae van enigiemand? Dion, wat het jy gedink toe jy dit gelees het? Dat ons maar by jou begin. You want to see more? Is die microfoon by die haan fluister op?
Niet vir my lekker gelyk is of asof die spelers op, jy weet, baie into it, heerlik om te kyk. En weer eens, is my interessant die invloed van die stijl. Dit is fascinating.
Ek dink net op die, ja? Ons kan hom hier in die auditorium hoor nie. Balke, kom in. Balke. Die wonderlik, net konteks vir die wat nie weet nie, daar 3 jaar gelede, 4, ek nie meer tyd in my kop nie, is Balke snel ons 'n swaarvoet opgevoer, wat ook uit Teksmark uitgekom het, met groot sukses, en ek dink daai jaar het 3-4 vleerde kaps gewen, verspel en die teks is ook genomineer. Balke, ja, ek dink wat in Balke se kop aangaan, kan net Balke miskien vir ons verduidelik. Hy is absoluut fantasties en ek dink hy vind altyd baie inspirasie uit die Griekse drama's en die Griekse, dit is net altyd opwindend, sy stem vir my, so absurde stem.
Ja.
Hallo. Hallo God. Hallo Balke.
Hallo.
Hallo Balke. Dis welkom. Kan jy ons
Baie dankie.
Daar's 'n bietjie van 'n delay Balke, so ons sal dit stadig vat, maar ons gaan nie deurkom. Balke, kon jy die stuk sien? Jy kon nou aanlyn kyk wat gebeur het.
Ja, nee, ek wil net eerstens vir Kanja sê, sy het 'n fantastiese job gedoen, so ja, baie geluk, dit was fantasties en die akteurs ook, so dit was wonderlik om uiteindelik te sien, ja, die woorde uit lewende lywe kom en nie net uit my kop uit nie, so dit was fantasties.
Kan jy nou hier vorentoe kom? Ek kan nie alleen hier staan nie. En die akteurs het my weggehardloop, so is net ek en jy. Balke, net 'n vraag, hoe laat is dit nou daar by jou?
Dit is nou 6:15 in die laatmiddag.
Goed, dit is heel okay. Ek dink ons het jou laat nag wakker gekry. Goed, so jy sit met 'n drankie al.
Amper ja.
Balke, ek wil by jou hoor, net uit, ek het alles baie mooi uiteengesit, so ek het nie veel vrae vir jou van my kant af, en ek sal graag vir oopmaak vir die gehoor, daar is definitief 'n vraag hierso. Ek wil net by jou weet, wat is dit, wat baie van jou tekste kom uit die Griekse dramas, die Griekse komedies, etc. Wat is dit dat jou so inspireer uit dit uit? Ek dink dit is absoluut fantasties, want dit is toch waar the origin of theater. Maar wat is dit wat jou so fascineer daarvan?
Ek dink ja, Griekse dramas, komedies en tragedies en ook die paar satires wat daar bestaan, ek dink dit is universeel en dit is ook, het strek ook oor tydgrense. So ek dink die temas hou ewig en ewig. So dit is die eerste ding. Dan die tweede ding is, ek was baie bevoorreg om in Griekeland by die theater van Epidaurus, so omtrent, ja, 8 jaar terug, 'n Griekse tragedie te sien, en ek moet sê, dit het my hele lewe verander, om 'n Griekse tragedie in 'n Griekse teater te sien. So dit was ja groot invloed. Maar soos ek sê, die karakters, en ander ding is ek mal oor Griekse mitologie ook. So met brandasem het dit nie soos dit is gebaseer op vroue van Troje, maar het nie soseer die storielyn van vroue van Troje gebruik nie, maar eerder die karakters en die mitologie rondom die karakters het ek gebruik. So dis nie die storie van die vroue van Troje nie, maar die karakters in vroue van Troje.
Ja. Voor ek vir Cornelia wat 'n vraag het of 'n kommentaar wil lewer, ek weet jy het vasgekry kan enige geen reference van hierdie teks nie. Wat is jou ervaring met jou indrukke van die teks?
Ek was dis 'n baie vol sirkel oomblik want ek het assistent design en verhoogbestuur met swerfgoed, so dit voel nog eens lekker nou die ene aan te pak. Het is ongelooflik ryk. Daar's soveel beelde en dit voel soos 'n onreg om dit so vinnig te probeer ontrafel en daarin krap, want daar's soveel beelde en daar's soveel klein detail wat ek dink nog baie verder ondersoek kan word. Maar my eerste indruk was hoe gepas dit voel en hoe epies dit voel, hoe groot dit voel. En dat het al presies wat Bouke nou ook gesê dat dit al trek agtertoe terwyl dit vorentoe probeer beweeg. En ek het gedink met die komedie en die tragedie hoe gepas dit is vir waar ons tans is en dalk 'n baie belangrike ondersoek na die wit Afrikaner in Suid-Afrika op die punt. En hoe ons hierdie mites van onsself bly vertel. So ek dink dit is 'n ongelooflike teks en ek hoop ons kan dit nog verder op die verhoog kry.
Er net twee kommentare daarop. Ek dink tog Bouke en jy mag met my dit sal interessant wees vir my om te weet. Jy weet dit lewe kommentaar oor Suid-Afrika etc, maar ek dink tog dit kan translate tot 'n ander land. It can easily be translated tot 'n Engelse teks. Dit kan ook tot iets anders spreek. Sou jy saamstem Bouke? Ek praat met jou as jy in die hemel is. Ek moet dit daar praat.
Ja, ek moet sê ek is die slegste vertaler van my eie tekste. 'n vriendin, 'n Engelssprekende vriendin van my het gesê my vertaling van my tekste lees soos 'n besigheidsvergadering, so minute van besigheidsvergadering. So ek kan nie my eie tekste verander nie. Omdat vir my dis so belangrik om die stemme te hoor en ek dink dis is 'n maaltyd wat hoor die stemme in my kop, maar dit is presies wat ek wil vasvang, dit is die stemme van karakters. En om die stemme te vertaal in 'n ander taal, dit is my onmoontlik. So ja, as iemand daar buite is wat graag my teks wil vertaal, asseblief kontak my.
Yes. Ek is seker nog iemand wees. Bouke en dan wil ek net vra ek wil net duidelik maak, daar's 5 akteurs betrokke in die teks wat verskillende rolle speel, maar die geselskap is 5 en jy het ook baie van die audiovisuele is eintlik ingeskryf en verweef binne in die teks, so net vir almal se reference daarso. Cornelia.
Dankie Hugo, alle Bouke. Vir die van julle wat nie weet die van julle wat nie weet nie, die paneel en ek lees ook die tekste anoniem. So ons weet nie wie die tekste skryf nie. En dis elke jaar vir my die lekkerste ding om vir Hugo uit te vra oor wie wat geskryf en om baie om my te sê. Maar ek het hierdie teks gelees en ek was mal daaroor en ek het geraai dit was Bouke se teks omdat hy so sterk stem en styl het wat regtig besonder en uniek is aan hom. Ek dink ons het min sulke skrywers. Wat my interessant was van die verwerking, ek dink jy het 'n ongelooflike voorstelling gedoen vandag, Kanja. Ek het dit baie meer komies gesien toe ek dit gelees het. En ek dink die swart komedie en die drama waarmee jy gewerk het, want dit het my vandag meer as 'n absurde drama met komiese elemente getref as 'n absurde komedie wat is hoe ek dit gelees het. So my vraag aan jou is hoekom het jy daai spesifieke uittreksels gekies en hoe skakel dit vir jou in met die groter storie?
Ek het gekies wat by my kop gebly het. So die beeld van die dogter wat haar ma in die brand steek. Die eerste keer toe ek die toneel lees, dis ek sê, ek wil hierdie ene doen. En die honde het ek net en die idee van die vlam en die hond wat al amper verbeelding van die pes of die ding is wat konstant om jou lê, het by my gebly. So ek het gegaan met die goed wat, ek het gegaan met die tonele wat vir my gevoel het, daar's beelde waarmee ek wil werk. Ek stem, ek dink hy sit hier, maar daar's eintlik ongelooflike hartseer wat al deur die teks loop. En ek dink soos ons dit deurgelees het ons besef, dis eintlik verskriklik, daar's iets wat onder dit alles spoel. So hierdie dele wat jy gesien het, selfs die audio wat jy gehoor het oor die telefoon is eintlik 'n toneel. Ek het net gekies om hom vir julle vandag se voice-over te doen, net sodat ek meer van die beelde kon gebruik wat Bouke ingeskryf het. En julle het een van die vroeër tonele gesien waar die polisiekaptein en Helene die soektog begin. En toe het ons geskiet na so van 'n goeie middeltoneel toe waar die dogter haar ma, waar die insurance kom nadat die huis afgebrand het. En julle het een van die finale tonele gesien, deeltjies uit die finale toneel met die ma in die rolstoel en die brand wat dan alweer gestig word. So julle het so voor, middel en einde deeltjies gesien.
Ek wil net sê enige van die tekste, any of the scripts that you would like to see, just email me, kontak my, en ek sal toestemming vir te skryf. Ek is seker dit sal glad nie omgee nie, en dat mense kan e-pos vir julle as julle die volle tekste wil lees. So just contact us. Is daar enige ander kommentaar? Vrae? Saartjie, daar's ek gaan nou by jou wees. Bouke, is jy nog met ons?
Ja, ek sien so.
Bouke en Saartjie, Bouke was op die laboratorium en die teks was toe vlamtong. Ek is verskriklik nuuskierig oor wat jy alles verander het en wil baie graag weet of die lughawe toneel op die karusel nog in is. Ek hoop regtig so, anders moet jy op my week oor dit skryf.
As Saartjie, ek kan nie mooi hoor nie.
Ek wil graag weet, hoekom het jy die naam verander van brandasem na van vlamtong na brandasem toe? Ek is nogal nuuskierig en ek is ook nuuskierig om te sien wat het verder in die teks ontwikkel en op 'n persoonlike noot geïnteresseerd of die toneel op die lughawe by die karusel nog in is.
Ek moet sê ek het heeltemal vergeet en ek moet eerstens baie dankie sê aan Saartjie en Janice vir hulle hulp met die skryf van die teks. So ek was ook deel van die groep gewees vir Woordfees, vir die Woordfees skryfskool. So hulle het fantastiese raad en verskriklik gehelp met die skryf van die teks en die regte vrae gevra. Ja, die lughawe toneel is nog in, hy is daarso. Hoekom ek van vlamtong verander het na brandasem is omdat ek gesê het, besluit ek die hele storie van die asem is so belangrik. 'n ander ding was hierdie is eintlik die derde teks in 'n trilogie. Die eerste ene was die bandelinge en die bandelinge haaike wat daar is, het die bandelinge die regie daarvan gedoen en dit het basies my hele skryf tog aan die gang gesit. So die bandelinge gaan oor grond, dan swartgoed was oor water en brandasem het oorspronklik begin oor vuur. Maar toe met die hele pandemie wat begin het, was dan ook lug en asem was ook deel daarvan. So die vuur en die asem het basies een geword in hierdie een teks. So dis hoekom ek dit verander het na brandasem en soos ek sê, dit is wat ek gehoor het van mense wat die coronavirus het, is dit is soos om iets wat brand in te asem. So dis ook 'n rede hoekom ek dit brandasem genoem het.
Dankie, Bouke. Is daar nog 'n ek was kommentaar. Ek gaan sommer hierdie mikrofoon vir jou kry.
Hallo Bouke, dis Aike wat praat.
Hi Aike.
Ek wil net sommer 100% jy so in jou plays praat oor die trilogie en so aan die elemente. Ek wil vir jou twee vrae vra, een miskien 'n bietjie onregverdig. Ek is nou geïnteresseerd dat jy sê dis geskoei op die vroue van Troje en daar's mos nou 'n opoffering wat gemaak moet word. Ek gaan obviously jou play lees nou dat ek uittreksels gesien het, maar wat is daar 'n opoffering wat gemaak moet word in die wat ek neem nou maar aan, hulle sit nou vas, gaan hulle ooit nou kan aanbeweeg? Gee jy hoop?
Ja, nee, ek dink dat dit is nie dit is soos 'n Erasmus, maar ek dink nie dit gaan vinnig opgelos word nie. Dit gaan 'n proses wees en wat ek net sal gee is die selfopoffering. Maar die selfopoffering, dit is amper soos die apartheid-generale wat gesê het, ja, ons is so jammer, dit wat ons gedoen het is verkeerd, maar wat eintlik baie min waarde het aan die einde, en hierso dit ook probeer om min waarde te gee aan die selfopoffering, en dis die toneel wat jy gesien het, van die vrou het Alzheimer's, so haar verskoning is amper die tel nie meer nie. Ons is verby, ons moet half die antwoord in onsself soek. So ja, ek hoop dit so antwoord jou vraag.
Ja, dat is baie interessant. So selfopoffering, ja. Nie iets van buite nie, self. Ja, dankie.
Ja.
En dan wil ek net gou vinnig 'n tweede vraag, want omdat ek wanneling net highlight het, en ek is seker Kanja sal saamstem, jou werk is dikwels baie filmies. So dis nogal, dit gee vir 'n verhoogregisseur nogal 'n kopseer, soms. So ek wil net, nee, dis nie kritiek nie, is net interessant, maar hoekom moet dit vir die verhoog geskryf word? Hoekom nie vir film nie?
Want ek weet nie hoe om vir film te skryf nie.
Dis 'n baie eerlike antwoord. Baie dankie Kanja. Baie dankie. Bouke, baie dankie en heel lekker aand. Ek gaan definitief met jou praat oor hierdie bly, so verwag maar oproep van my af en ek sal nou hier verder gesels met ander mense. So binnekort. Dankie Bouke, bye.
Okay, baie dankie, baie dankie. Baie dankie Teksmark.
Well done.
Dankie Kanja.
Bye. Okay. En volgende, ek hoop hulle is reg. Hier agter my is ek wil net gou want daar's 'n bietjie verandering in die volgorde. Het ons 'n wonderlike komedie wat kom What Happens in Russia. So kom sommer na die verhoog toe. Die stuk is geskryf deur Michaela Weir. Jy Weir is hiervan, hè? Michaela, sy is op die oomblik 'n nagraadse student aan die Universiteit van Universiteit van Stellenbosch in skryfkuns. En ja, sy het hierdie wonderlike stukkie so ingeskryf. Ek gaan begin jou sodat jy 'n bietjie kan gesels.
Hallo almal, ek is Michaela en hierdie is my teks What Happens in Russia. Ek gaan net vir julle 'n vinnige opsomming van die bly lees en dan ook soos temas en belangrike dinge wat dit aanspreek. Okay. We are transported to the Museum of Erotica in Russia, which holds a jar containing the alleged 30-centimeter preserved penis of Grigory Rasputin. This exhibition has attracted the attention of best friends Luna and Hunter. The teenagers' interests include Lana Del Rey, picnics, radical feminism, and witchcraft. After months of trial and error, these baby witches believe they have come up with the perfect spell to finally demolish the patriarchy. And the only ingredient left to complete the ritual is none other than Rasputin's penis. They have devised the perfect plan and outfits to obtain the final ingredient. Step 1, go to Russia. Step 2, go to the Museum of Erotica. Step 3, locate the penis. Step 4, commence the ritual. With their pockets filled with crystals and their spirit guides protecting them on their journey, what could go wrong? Apparently almost everything. The friends would come to birth. Okay, I'm going to have this okay, the play touches on themes such as spirituality, as well as cultural appropriation through Luna and Hunter's journey to demolish the patriarchy. It is evident that nowadays young people will do and say anything to appear trendy. This results in said young people not taking the time to fully research and grasp what it is that they are getting themselves into. In this play, I've used the westernization of witchcraft and it becoming a trend on TikTok to convey this. Yes. So, welcome to Russia, welcome to the Museum of Erotica. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Okay, so where's the penis?
It's right over there, Luna.
That's a penis?
You're acting like you've never seen one before.
That's offensive. You know I'm asexual.
What? I thought you were banned.
Well, I was, but then I saw this video on this girl coming to terms with being asexual, and I really resonated with that.
Bestie, you never told me that. You, I'm so proud of you for speaking your truth. You are very brave.
You really grow through what you go through.
That would make such a great caption. You know, I always thought his first name was Rasputin.
Really?
Like a Beyonce or Eminem type thing, you know? A man so powerful, he didn't need a surname.
Well, I mean, he'd have to be pretty weak if they could pin him down and cut off his dick.
Well...
And now it's in a jar on display for the whole world to see.
No, absolutely, and I mean, people pay to see it, you know? And it's amazing that even in death, Rasputin's dick still enchants.
That's a load of bullshit and you know it. Rasputin wasn't a mystic. He was a con artist who used his blessing to brainwash women.
Right, fuck Rasputin.
Now, all we need is to extract the penis from the jar and use it in our ritual.
Why must I do it? It was your idea.
I saged the place. What have you done to contribute?
Well, Fine. Did you at least bring the gloves?
No.
Luna, so I must touch this with my bare hands. Are you sure?
Christy, remember the cause. We have to use the penis in the spell to abolish patriarchy. What do we always say?
There is no I in men not trash.
Exactly. Put those muscles to use and extract the penis. I'll record it. This will make us go viral. Oh, this is too good. My followers are going to love this.
You know what? Lekker. Laugh at my pain.
Hunter, you have to admit this is pretty funny.
You really did get a lekker angle of my face.
Right? Back to business. We're going to have to cut it up. It's just way too big for the pot.
You know what I thought? I think I saw a knife in the sex toy display. It's just a statue. It's not like
Just a statue? Just a statue? This statue represents the struggle of millions of women across the world.
I'm just saying that
Why are you defending him?
I'm not. He's probably just an old man who hasn't gotten action in decades.
That doesn't excuse predatory behavior.
He's not harming anyone.
Whose side are you on, Hunter? Because I have no problem doing this spell on my own.
Oh, are you gonna cut up the penis?
Bestie, I'm so sorry. You know how like my Aries moon, it just gets me all fired up.
And my Leo moon gets that? It does. Let's never let a man come between us again.
I promise. I love you, bestie.
I love you, bestie. Okay. Now, on to bigger things.
Right, like getting TikTok famous. And demolishing the patriarchy.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's get our
Let's
ingredients.
play some music first to get into the mood. Chakras are like so aligned right now.
Same. Okay. Let's get to this penis.
All right. First, we have the hair of the Helder boy that I hooked up with last week. Then we have a picture of Ted Bundy.
He's so cute. Why did he have to be a serial killer?
Hunter, focus. Did you cut up the penis?
Shit. Should I cut it in half or like slices like
Oh
a
my
cucumber?
god, it doesn't matter. What was that?
I don't know.
Bestie, maybe we should...
Nay! I did not intend to alarm thee.
Thee?
He's probably just respecting your pronouns.
Oh, that's so considerate.
But you're a man.
I am no man. I am spirit guide.
Spirit guides can talk?
Indeed.
Holy shit!
Prove it! Prove that you're our spirit guide.
Oh, very well.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Spirit Guide. We've just, never actually heard you talk before.
Oh, no harm do not. And please, I beseech thee, call me Bob.
Bob? That's not a very witchy name, is it?
I heard that, Hunter.
Stop upsetting our spirit guide. I'm so sorry, Bob. Hunter here, we just didn't expect the spirit guide to have such a common name.
Well, it is not common name in Russia.
Touché.
I can't believe that we're actually talking to a spirit guide. Bob, can you say something spirit guidey for my TikTok?
You grow through that you go through.
That's what I said.
Bestie, you Would make such a good spirit guide.
I know, right?
So, you have traveled long and hard to obtain alpha penis, I presume.
How did you know that?
I know everything. I have come to alert thee. A mutilated penis will be stripped from all its power and would be of no use in ritual.
But it's too big for the pot. What else are we supposed to do?
The pot?
Yeah.
I suppose you mean the cauldron. That's what you call a pot used for spells? But that's beside the point. Let us start at the beginning. I'm assuming you have guessed at your circle.
We have a mandala.
No, this circle that banishes negative energies.
Oh no, we just use white sage to cast away the ghosts.
White sage? But how long have you been practicing?
Practicing what?
Witchcraft spells.
Oh, this is our first spell.
Oh yeah, we really wanted our first spell to really make a major impact, otherwise what's the point? Right, Bestie?
Right. Bestie. What sort of witches are you, huh? Wiccan, hereditary, green witches, secular?
We're not like witches.
We're more like TikTok witches.
Like the app. It's super informative.
TikTok witches? The app didn't inform you that the use of white sage as a non-native is a form of cultural appropriation, or that it is necessary to cast a circle in preparation for a spell or ritual. Talk me through your process, TikTok witches.
Dankie julle. Kan ons hier skrywers met iemand wat wil praat? Ek sal my hier voor kry. Ja, hulle sal my stoel bring. Now intimacy coordinators were used in the rehearsals of the show. I do apologize. I hope everyone is okay. Ons het nog nie genoeg geld in theater om intimacy coördinators te kry en blijkbaar is dit nou standaard in film en TV en so. Dit is 'n hele nuwe karriere wat blijkbaar ongelooflik is. En wat sekerlik baie nodig is, ons het dit nog nie in theater en obviously is dit net anders. Ja. Anyway. Die play is volledig geskryf.
So basies, die play was eintlik iets wat ek geskryf het vir die klas. Dit was 25 minute, moes gelees het. So dit is op die oomblik 25 minute. Maar ek is in die proses om dit te verleng, maar ek kan nog baie doen daarmee, verstaan. So dit is baie, soos jy kan hom lekker uitrek en lekker.
Wil jy maar 'n bietjie aflig om te praat? Dit julle weet hoe. Stel gou almal voor.
Okay, so ek is Michaela weer. Hierdie is Nisa Smit. Daar is Liselma Reen. Daar is Johan Dippenaar, Karl Wessels en Damien de Villiers. Ja.
Fantasties. Dit is the humor in this play, ek kan dit so tussen Afrikaans en Engels praat nie. I love the humor when I read it. It was just, it's fresh, it's wonderful, and it flows beautifully. So I just absolutely love the play. And ek dink dit is iets wat ek weet my oorspronklike ding was, dit interesting is dit. Dis net 'n generasiegaping. Ons almal van ek weet nie wat 'n ouderdom, ek gaan nie ouderdom sê nie, maar as jy net die stukke voor dit kyk, het almal nog tekste in die hand, maar die jong generasie gebruik ons die selfone met hulle tekste op die selfone. That's the difference between you and us. Anyway, dit is net dit is regtig vars humor. What I'm interested in is just a kind of open thing. Ek dink wat daar is vir my is definitief 'n jonger gehoor wat sal jy weet dwars deur dit sit en vasgenaal wees. And obviously that was also a target market I suppose for you.
100%,
Ja.
100% wel.
Ja.
Ek weet nie, want vir my soos ek voel nie anders met minder mense begin teater toe kom
maar soos op 'n manier en ek het gedink dit sal 'n goeie manier wees om 'n nuwe crowd in te kry van mense wat weer kan passievol raak oor teater en half iets soos iets nuuts dit is my Bible. En ook soos ek en Nisa het dit direk van ons het ook gedink soos hoe kan ek dit stel soos ons het hierdie karakters was ek einde laas jaar. Verstaan soos ek het letterlik deur hier gegaan van op TikTok wees en ewe skielik nou myself convince ek is nou hierdie spiritual, ek sit freaking kristalle in my bra want apparently gaan dit maak dat ek 'n boyfriend kry. Dis al hierdie soos crazy goeders. So dis baie soos na aan die hart. Ek reflect kind of baie hard op iets wat ek weer gegaan het. Dis rose quartz wat jy in jou bra sit, apparently dit. Dis nou
wat ek in die baan kyk wat se kristallen moet ek raak? Ek het dit gedaan.
Ek het dit soos een dag gedoen, want dit was 'n bietjie ongemaklik en as jy 'n stywe toppie dra, dan is dit net so 'n derde nippel wat jy onder skryf. So ja. Wat ek dit.
Okay. Dis fantasties. Ek dink dis die tipe van informasie wat 'n mens deur teaterstukke ook kan oordra aan mense wat goeie raad is. Het dit vir jou gewerk?
Ja, sy het 'n
Ja.
Ja, 'n jaar later het dit gewerk.
Fantasties. Ons gaan maar wat hier vra. But what I'm interested in, so my algemene vraag net aan almal hier en jy weet ek kyk na so quote nog 'n baie verskeidenheid van ouderdomme hier, baie different kind of age groups. Just from appealing, what is interesting to me is that 100% appeals to me. Some of it I think I understand everything. Nou, miskien is dat gedus wat ek nie die verwysing verstaan nie. But I mean, I think it's so entertaining for all age groups. So it's not just for young people. Kan ons 'n mikrofoon probeer? Ja, dan vat ek nie probeer teks nie.
Ek wil net sê voor ek vergeet jy moet stand-up opdoen. I think she must do it as sort of little interlude before after the play. But I immediately thought, because I don't have kids, so TikTok is kind of, I know what it is now, but I don't really. So for my sort of play and at my own, it's lovely because it teaches me what it is. It teaches me how they use it. It teaches me how they, and just what ek hou van die cellphone en die hele ding, because it takes me into a different world, because they come from a different place than we do. We would think about it. Ek het sal weet om myself met aan te kry en al dat soort van. So I love that, and I think you get darker, you're winning and gaining a new audience, but you don't lose the audience because we want to stay with you. Yeah, that's what theatre does.
And I think what's wonderful, ek dink tel hierdie mikrofoon ons op. What is wonderful about that is also that it's not just this play, it's not just frivolous kind of let's grab kind of contemporary kind of things. Ek dink dit lewer geweldige kommentaar, jy weet baie kommentaar en wonderlike kommentaar oor die samelewing, oor meer as net frivolous stuff en komplimente aan jou daarvoor dat dit so ek hoop jy kan dit ontwikkel in daai 50 minute play wat kan give it wat actually dit kan deurtrek en daai regte kommentaar op die ander kan lewer. Yes.
Nee, ek wil net byvoeg dat I think that's something that makes the play like really great is when I read the play, because Michaela and I are like total opposites in like many ways. And so for me, like I was born in 1999. I've never had TikTok before. I know, it's weird, but I get the references now that I've like spent more time with Michaela, and it's like even I got a boyfriend, eh?
Yeah,
like, wow.
that's nice.
Ek jy ook nie kristal in jou.
Yeah, I just tethered, I think, from those. What's really cool about the script is I think that there's like a very good balance between people can relate, like people that are into that kind of stuff can relate to it, and people who are not into that kind of stuff can kind of be like, what is this? And the people who are like obsessed with it are like, yes, this is accurate, this is very well done. There's like no, it's a satire, but it kind of like falls into everyone's sense of humor. Because you don't feel like attacked in any way. You're just watching these people, and there's nothing that like feels, oh, this is you. You're just like, wow, this is the world.
I think everyone here knew that there's something different coming when I emailed Larieta and Marissa to say, listen, just a special request, just start thinking about it now. We need a 30-centimeter penis for display, and just start looking, please. I didn't find one, that's the one that got the cucumber, so we'll sort that out.
Once again, Grindr,
we should have included for him. Anyway, well, I know there's a few questions. I just have one question here. Net vir julle almal wat nou betrokke was op een of ander manier in die proses en so. Ek wil net gou 'n disclaimer net sê, when I'm saying theatre for young people, it doesn't mean that I think there's certain plays and more traditional plays and more kind of classic plays that doesn't relate to young people. I think that it's all, I think you relate to plays that are, you know, interesting and that still grabs you no matter what it is. So I'm not excluding the fact that it is possible. But just quickly from your side, a younger crowd that's now sitting here, there's almost sort of net klaar met universiteit, is amper klaar met hulle neers of meesters. So net so 'n algemene gevoel van, I mean, where is theatre for you? Where do you want to see theatre go, and wat is nodig om julle generasie wat nie noodwendig teatermakers is nie in die teater te kry? As ons so vinnige ronde kan doen tussen julle nadat julle hier is. Kan ons met 'n mikrofoon sien dit? Ek kom stap sommer af.
Yeah, so I think something that really was cool for me about it was that I don't regard myself as a comedy actor or whatever. But when I read it, I was like, yo, this is so specific, and it's like it wasn't like messy in any way. It's just very specific, and the text drew me because even though I'm not into you know, the crystals and all of those things, I could still see a part of myself in this character, in the wanting to relate into to being a part of a trend, just to be a part of the crowd, and you know, this is why a lot of us do these things. It's to fit in and to do all of those things, and I think the minute I could detach from that and be in it, it was fantastic. And as for what I want in theatre, what would bring me more to theatre, I think something that in this year, so I'm doing my honours in applied theatre, and within the facilitation and all of those things, I really found that it is truly up to me. I need to make it, because only then I will find what I'm looking for, and once I can make it, I can follow through with that. Yeah, that's my 5 cents.
Next bit of what I also really love about the script and what I think makes it interesting, a lot of young people, or our generation, very much holds other generations very accountable for what they do or what they did. And this play is sort of holding its own generation accountable for what they do and what they think. And I think that's very cool.
En wat gaan other people who are not, nie julle mense wat werk in theater and whatever, student, how do we bring your generation into theaters? What is necessary? What will
make it fun?
Yeah, I think
It's
free
just
booze.
fun.
Free booze. Free booze.
Nou ek hoop vir teater. Ja.
I think what Michaela's play does extremely well is we often see theater about the millennial generation, the Gen Z, the Gen X, the boomer generation, but something that I don't experience a lot is the Gen Z generation. So that's our generation, the generation that's obsessed with finding connection through social media and trends, and trying to relate to one another through what we see online. And I feel like that's basically how our generation is, and I feel as though this script encapsulates it very well. And I feel like our age group is gonna love seeing it and love laughing at it and being like, oh yeah, I do that. I thought a rose cord in my bra worked once. Yeah, I'm still single. That kind of vibe.
It
Yeah.
did work. It did work. She's
It
got a
did.
boyfriend.
A year later, so it
Don't
was
laugh
like,
at it.
yeah.
It wasn't because of the crystal, just because I manifested it.
We
I
manifested
spoke it into existence.
into the universe.
Ek wil net sê, you're going to feel it. Ek bedoel, jy sê nou, jy was nie deel van die TikTok generation nie, want jy was 1999.
Wat ons is
En
allemaal.
nou gaan ons allemaal met die
Die metaverse.
metaverse van, ek dink is julle allemaal nou daar daarvoor. So daar's nou julle nuwe generasie wat in iets anders gaan groot word. So so gaan dit. Cornelia, jy het ietsie gehad om te sê.
Yes, dis waar.
Nee, maar ons het 'n spesiaal tyd vir jou gemaak. Daar's 'n mikrofoon by jou. O.
Hello, Michaela. Well done. Bye, dankie. Thought it was wonderful, really funny and well directed. I actually thought the cell phones were part of it.
It was a decision we made. Like we were
Okay.
thinking scripts or phone, and they were like, no, the phone is actually going to work really well. Like,
But you do rehearse like that.
No, well, we wanted to print it out, but then there were keys and locks and doors.
that I didn't want to open, and so we just decided, and the stapler wasn't working, so we were just like, listen, we're just going to use our phones.
But I think it's funny if the actors play with the phones in their hands the whole time.
So like, if it were to be the actual play that they have
Yes.
their phones in their hands.
Yes, and the actors didn't bother to learn the lines, they're actually just using their phones.
Because why not?
I think that's a really bad idea. Don't listen to it.
That's powered by Meta. That's what that is.
Powered by Meta.
And I do also have a comment. The spirit guy, character. So the energy and the flow of the script and the acting is very sardonic and it flows quite well. And then you've got this voice coming from behind. I think it would be nice to have a character on stage actually, to manifest some kind of character. Because then, yeah, I think that's the energy would just come out of there.
Oh, wow, you want to do it?
Okay. Yeah, but well done. It was wonderful.
Thank you, Cornelia.
Any other comments, questions? Great.
I don't need a microphone. How many? So it's three spoken roles, two on stage.
How many spoken roles?
It's three spoken roles.
So 3 actors.
No, why is my brain not working? Damien is there, but he doesn't say anything. You know, like he just walks past. No, he says something at the end. Sorry, yes, 4.
So how many actors would you need to?
4. Yes, that's my final number.
One line. And then the voiceover from the spirit guide.
Yes, he's the 4th.
He's the 4th.
Yeah, because it's Luna, Hunter, Igor, the security guard, and then spirit guide / janitor. Yeah. What it ends up being is he's actually the janitor who's just screwing with them and teaching them a lesson, kind of like, because they really don't know what they're doing, and he's basically just giving them the facts, and they're just like, we do not want any part of this, you know, like not really knowing what they got themselves into.
Question, you've just written 25 minutes basically of it. Do you think it's something that you want to, do you think it can be extended to say 50 minutes or whatever?
Definitely.
Without taking away from the
Yeah.
structure and the...
Yeah, no, initially when I wrote the 25-minute play, the only reason it's 25 minutes is because it had to be. It was actually a lot longer, but I had to cut a bunch of things because we had like cut off, it had to be 25 minutes.
Because you've got Milan Stein as your...
Yes.
He's very strict, yes.
Super strict.
Super strict.
So, yeah.
Okay, great. Any questions, any comments? Dit was great. Baie dankie.
Baie dankie vir jou.
We're going into the last play. Minister Miranda, you've got a lot of things to do, so please, yes, of course. Thank you for attending. Last play, before we take a break, it's Change, Chameleon Change, and this was written by Lee Dubel. Lee, waar is jy? Ek het sommer na die verhoog toe kom asseblief. Die uittreksel is geregisseer deur Rafiq Mammon en die spelers is ek kan nie lees nie, want ek het nie my bril. Simona Herodin en baie dankie. Zikona Jacobs, Devika. Lee, ek het oor aan jou en dan kan ons sommer die uittreksel kyk. Van Jesus en die Kelly is al weer aan die werk. Ai, as Rafiq steek jy die hele tyd in die werk.
Dankie, Johan. There's a particular cruelty to asking an introverted playwright to stand on stage and explain what he's done. So, thanks for being a sadist, I'll be the one. The extract you're going to see is about 10 minutes long, and it comes relatively early in the play. The play is written, there is a complete script. It runs between 60 and 70 minutes. It's structured in the form of a thriller, which made choosing which section to use a big problem for Rafiq, because there constantly are twists and turns, and you can't say something now that you're not going to be able to fix up at the end. We followed Chekhov's rule: if there's a gun, it's going to be fired. So you're going to see a gun, it's not going to be fired today, but it will be in play. I don't know what it is. It's a two-handed play. The overriding question is, can you hold someone responsible for something they did 30 years ago, or are alleged to have done 30 years ago, and during those 30 years they've undergone the single most fundamental change, emotionally and physically, that a human being can go through. So I don't want to say too much because I'll give away some of the surprises that might be in this section. I flew in from Joburg last night. I've not seen this. I've met the actors at 10 o'clock today, so I'm holding thumbs or crossing fingers to make sure this works. What you need to know is that there's a young girl who's as old as our freedom. She was born in '94. She never knew her father. He died just before she was born, or he disappeared just before she was born, and she knocks on the door of the policeman who was the last known person to see her father. The person who opens the door is a very sexy woman. In the first sort of 10 minutes of the play that precede the section, you're going to see the young girl who's looking for a father admits to being a lesbian, or just comes out as being a lesbian. She's quite proud of the fact. And just before the scene starts, the woman admits that she's in fact trans and has completed her journey. So it might be triggering to some of you, I hope it is. It's that whole part of it, the fact that we've not followed up on what happened at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We've had no show trials, we've had almost no arrests. It kind of happened, and now we talk about glittery things and soccer and all kinds of nonsense. We don't actually pursue what came out in that thing. That's one of the themes that's certainly looked at in the play. The other one is acceptance of trans people. It's in the news constantly. People like J.K. Rowling, and one should spit when you say her name, has said the most ridiculous things. As an out and proud gay man who fought for gay rights in the 70s and 80s, it's really, really galling to me that members of the LGBT community are now fighting against the T in the LGBTQIA plus kaleidoscope community we're a part of. So I don't want to waffle too much because I can if I'm let loose. We're going to do the play. I don't know where the actors are. I don't know how this works, so I'm going to give the microphone to someone and hope the lights go down. Thanks.
Where's Johan? Gone. Will he be back? Not possible. Why? He stopped when she began. He was never there. Johan was something that other people wanted.
You can't put on a dress and become another person. That's not possible.
And yet every single day since the beginning of time, well, since the beginning of dresses, people have been doing just that.
You're not allowed to escape justice.
Has anyone mentioned this justice to you, darling?
I need to find Johan. He was the last person to see my father.
You can't find someone who isn't there.
If you are Johan, then why are you wearing a dress?
He never wore dresses. She does.
Which she are you talking about?
Every time we seem to take a step forward, you insist on Judge jumping 2 steps back.
Johan can't have disappeared. He can't suddenly have become you.
There was nothing sudden about it, darling.
What did you do to Joe Mashi? Huh? Johan was the last person to see him. And I need to know what happened to Joe.
Is this for your dissertation you're busy with?
Kind of. It's just, I need to know.
I can't help you.
I don't need help. I just want the truth. What happened to Joe Mashilo?
She never met.
Johan was the last person to see him. You must know what happened. Tell me the truth.
Why do you have to know? You're asking about things that happened nearly 3 decades ago. Who remembers that far back?
His family asked me to find out what happened to him.
And you're on this quest for the truth because his family asked you?
Yes. So, just tell me what you know. And please, be truthful.
And you believe that when you ask people about the past that you'll get the right answers?
Yes.
And what if the truth isn't the right answer? What if there isn't actually a person that will get you to the truth?
Please, stop speaking in riddles. Just tell me what you know.
Why?
Because until these people know what happened to him, no one can rest.
Then why did you knock on my door?
Johan was the last person to see him.
She can't help you with this.
I would like to speak to Johan van Rienen, please.
Oh, help yourself to another drink if you need one.
No. Thank you. I'm okay.
Oh, good Lord, this feels infinitely better. You know, clothes, one has visited a shopping mall in all reeks of popcorn and Hugo Boss.
I don't know what Hugo Boss smells like.
But I just told you, it smells like shopping malls.
You are a very confusing person to speak to.
Ask a direct question and you may just receive a straight answer.
Where is Johan?
Gone.
When will he be back?
Never. But she's here.
You are a man hiding from the truth in a dress. The bars in Soweto are full of drag queens just like you.
Is there a prize for having the smallest penis? It appears so tiny it's invisible. Does a lesbian even know what it looks like?
So what? You cut off your dick?
Hi, my name is Anne, and as you can see, I am a woman top to toe.
You were a man until doctors got their hands on you. Real women are born.
Some women take longer than others, darling. Like you, she was born, but it was just took some time for her to show herself.
No one takes that long to be born. You're a sex change.
Well, people don't use that term anymore, darling. It's like you being called a fanny licker. It may be true, but it's only half the picture, and it's hurtful.
You are his sister. You are making all this rubbish up to protect your brother.
What he was is no more. He's gone and will never come back.
Everything you say is a lie.
It's very dangerous to call a person a lie to their face, Lerato Mashilo.
I didn't tell you my name.
You didn't have to. You looked like him. She knew exactly who you were the moment she opened the door.
Only Johan would know that.
She's not him. Memory does not make a person.
And the doctors cut off your thing just like that.
No, not so much cut off as sliced and folded back.
Nothing lost, nothing wasted.
I can't even imagine that.
If you were given a choice between living in a prison or freedom, you always choose freedom.
You are not free. You are just hiding. You wanted to hide so badly you had an operation.
Would you become a man just to hide?
Fuck no. I just need you to tell me the truth about what happened to my father. Stop hiding from the truth.
In 94, she stopped hiding. She stopped being afraid. She accepted things as they were. Since then, she's never told a lie, not technically. She stopped hiding in 1994.
Johan wasn't hiding then. He was a policeman.
That was the last time anyone saw him. He heard the freedom bells ringing and disappeared.
You had your sex change operation in 1994.
Not immediately, darling. It isn't the same for everyone. For her, it took 4 years. 4 slow, strange, funny years.
You can't just wake up one day and say Johan is gone.
But he is gone. No matter where you search, you're never going to find him.
I'm sitting in his home, talking to him.
This is my home and my name is Anne.
You are responsible. You. This person in front of me, you are responsible.
What is she responsible for, Larato?
My father. You were the last person to see my father.
What it is you want from her?
What did you do to him?
All right then. We'll tell you the little that we remembered. And then we'll never speak it about again. Deal?
Deal.
Johan met with him. They conducted their business and Joe left.
You were the last person to speak to him.
It wasn't an important meeting.
It wasn't a meeting. He was under arrest.
Joe was never under arrest. Not when he was with Johan. With him.
Yes, he was. Everyone says so.
To you. Everyone tells you what they think you need to know about your father. You shouldn't try and find out about history. Not in this country. It isn't never pleasant.
I talked to the people that he was in the struggle with. They wouldn't lie.
Wouldn't they?
Comrades don't lie. They shed blood together. Those people don't lie.
And Jesus walks on water. Yes, that's true. If you need to know the truth, you can read every autobiography of every struggle veteran that's been published. You will know if they're versions of the truth. You might even begin to believe their versions.
It's not their versions. It's the truth. There is only one truth.
If that's what you want to believe, darling, then life is going to come as a great surprise to you.
Fuck you, man!
Language, darling.
I'll say whatever I fucking well like!
Can we please have a moment to calm down?
I need you to tell me the truth about my father. What happened to my father?
Is that the real reason that you're visiting?
Tell me what you did to him.
She doesn't know anything that you want to hear.
Will you stop with all this shit? Just because some plastic surgeon gave you a vagina doesn't suddenly make you a woman.
No. One is born a woman.
Exactly!
Exactly. You came here knowing what you were going to do.
I came here looking for Johan. You can't know what I want to do.
My guess is that you've had this fantasy of finding this man who killed your father and take revenge.
Revenge?
Surely you didn't come here unarmed, did you?
I'm the daughter of a revolutionary. Why would I meet an operative of the apartheid regime without being able to protect myself?
And you believe you'll need protection from her?
Probably yes.
She has never knowingly hurt nor harmed another sentient being.
Then why don't you tell me about those beings that you hurt or harmed when you still had a penis?
The past fades. Everything what happens becomes less and less clear.
Ah, man, they cut off your dick, not your memory.
They have nothing to forget.
They?
They, them, we, she, they.
You're just spinning ridiculous bullshit. You killed him. I know you did. Tell me what happened.
You shouldn't ask that question, darling, for your own sake.
What? You playing games with me, huh? You playing games with me. You guys from the security branch were trained to use mind games on your prisoners.
You're not a prisoner, darling. You may leave whenever you like.
I'm not going anywhere until I came here. I've done what I came here to do.
And what is that?
Find out the truth.
If you're hoping that the truth is going to set you free, or some such nonsense, my darling girl, then you have walked into the wrong cliche.
I need to know how exactly you tortured and killed my father!
Yeah, I think you can start right there. Well done. Congratulations. Where's the Waar is Rafik? Kom Rafik. Nee, Rafik, kom oor asseblief. Moet nou nie moeilik wees vandag nie, Rafik. Ons moet nou mikrofoon. So Rafik, ek net gou, well done everyone. I've got a lot of questions, but I'm going to start with just comments from you, Rafik. You had die skrip gekry, pas in jou inbox beland. Jy lead stars.
I didn't think for my was English, that it was difficult to choose which excerpt to do, but I think we've chosen the right one that just spans and gives enough away to maybe pique interest, I hope. And I was specifically told you need to choose somebody to play the role who has actually gone through this. And that's where Simone came in. I just thought, Simone, that's the only person that I know that has had a physical gender reassignment. And guess what? It was in '94 in the play. So it was fortuitous. I mean, that was like, the one that hit the nail on the head for me. And then Zikona, I've worked with so many times, and my go-to is Zikona whenever there's a role that's perfectly suited. And she's a lesbian. So that's just all worked out. It was like the universe conspired and said, this is how you do it. And these are the people to talk to. Never met and spoken to Leah until this morning. I don't know whether we did it justice. We worked hard. There's a co-director sitting right there, Gary Naidu. We worked on it together and spent most of yesterday putting it together and this morning. But yeah, it was quite a nice journey. I like the script a lot. I like where you want to head. The storyline is immense. I mean, it's a real, for us, in South Africa, where it's at, and what you said earlier, especially about the T part in the LGBTQIA+. I don't know, what is the A? I just know that there are so many letters that we're not, I don't know how many letters there are left. The spectrum in more than vitamins, I know. That much I do know. But yeah, I think that Simone can probably elaborate a lot more on the realness of the text, because they also loved it as a pair. They really enjoyed working with this text. So Bounty, Lee.
Vic, if you can give to Simone, I would love to. Yeah,
we don't need to sanitize or anything.
We can. Are you okay with the mics?
We've been in my room for a while.
We can talk about it. Simone,
And I would love to hear from you, because this is obviously a story that you know, that you've lived, that, so it would be wonderful to get your perspective on receiving this bird from, very fresh, from someone you don't know. Just your thoughts.
Yeah, I think as Gary said, the first thing that jumped out at me or struck me was the fact that in the text as well, this person had a gender reassignment surgery in 1994. And I had mine as well, so I'm giving away my age. And I always say it's the time, I reconstructed and developed, because that was when reconstruction and development came out. And the script obviously appeals to me because it remains a topical topic, not just in South Africa but throughout the world. Constantly, one has to constantly, I hate using the word correct, but put people on the correct path. That I think what comes on strongly in this text for me is the fact that Anne actually enforces herself as just a woman. And this is where I find myself at the moment. I don't even identify with the term transsexual or transgender, because I just think we're putting too many people in too many boxes. So it identified with me in that way, that as much as comfortable as Anne is what she is in the skin as a woman, and the fact that the other thing that came very strongly out is the fact that the character couldn't refer to her previous name. And that is also a no-no for me. The only people that know my previous names are my family. So that really, really stuck out for me.
And I've got a lot of questions because of that for you, but we'll get to that now. And just have you ever, how many representation do you think we have in our theatre, in South Africa, on stage, in film, on television, of transgender characters, etc., etc.?
Not a lot, and I think quite often they are given the sort of traditional drag queen roles, which is not the same. I think Hollywood is a bit coming to the party with casting transgender women as transgender women, but as professional. I can't get his name, Lauren something. Can't get your name now as well, but I think they're coming to the party. Then we've got on the other spectrum Bollywood and Nollywood that wouldn't even think of casting a transgender person, or in the sense of Bollywood, yes, they do cast a transgender person, but then it's still as the so-called third sex. I think in South Africa, a lot of soapies could look at casting a transgender person, or if they do this, the character is always just for 2 or 3 episodes and then taken out. And I would like to see that if it's casting soapies and dramas, that the character, the transgender character, is actually one of the main characters that just plays, I hate the word normal, but a so-called normal man or so-called normal woman, because we also mustn't forget there's also the other way from female to male, because there's always a song and dance being made about so-called male to female, but there's the other, and it's actually 50-50. So yeah, it would be great to see some proper roles for transgender people. I'm not specifically that it has to be a transgender person that must play a transgender, because a straight person can also play a gay actor, etc., etc. But yeah, it would be great.
That was exactly my next question, because what was interesting, the only description that you gave me, and your innocent word was that you wanted this character to be played by someone who lived it from the side. So,
giving this to you, so I'm keeping this one. There we go. Yes. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the play.
Oh.
I don't have any specific question for you, just thoughts of receiving this play. You work with Vic obviously often. What are your thoughts about this as a play for now?
Hi everyone. I personally think that this piece needs to be seen by a lot of people, because there's still a lot of people that are very when it comes to this kind of topic, transgender, even gay and lesbians. People refuse to educate themselves when it comes to sexuality, and it's a strain to the people that are living the lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle, it's a way of life to us. And we've been judged, we've been called names, we are being killed, we are being called names like faggots and stuff. And I was sharing with Rafiq yesterday, and I was sharing a story. I said, it's so funny, I have 2 gay brothers and I'm lesbian, and people used to mock us a lot, and they say, this family is this family is vice versa. I want to be, they used to say, I want to be a man and they want to be women, and it's not nice. And to add on your question before, you don't see transgender on our TV screens. It's I haven't seen a film or a soapy with a transgender person openly saying that they're transgender. So there's still a lot to be done. There's still a lot to be said. The message needs to be sent to people. These people exist, we exist. I think that's all I have to say.
I've got to add on to that. The question is a play, and it's always, and this is a kind of a general question, we always, you feel like you're preaching to the converted. The people that come to theatre usually, and the people who would come to a play, this play for instance, or any other kind of topic, it would attract certain people who are almost, who are already with us, who are already there, most of the time. So how do you, something like this, for instance, how do you get this play to be seen by the people who should be seeing it, so that it can actually have an impact and a change? Difficult question.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer it now, it's kind of an open question for later. Lee, I'm going to give you this one because I've sanitized it. There we go. And then I'll take that one. Lee, so last question to you from me, and then I'll open it to the floor. You're a white man writing this play with characters, and there's always a big conversation about, can you really kind of, and so what I want to know is and the feeling from the actors and the director is that, yes, this play made sense. I don't know if you changed anything from an actor's point of view or a director's point of view in the script? A little bit. Terminology?
No. Here and there, a little bit of, getting rhythms of lines, maybe. Just for to my rhythm over them, to corrigere if you want. But nothing big. Like, and, taking away the figurines and the bathroom scene and all of that. So we've just compacted it.
So Lee, did you have to do, is this a lived experience for you in some other way with people close to you? Or why did you decide to write these characters? And what kind of research did you do to write it?
It's easy enough for me to research amongst my friends. I do know some trans people and I know some lesbians, so I'm gay. So as a playwright, I think it's a question we get asked a lot is, I've written plays for radio about bank robbery or farm attacks and all kinds of that. I've never lived through any of those things or done any of those things. The playwright uses his imagination, so I get my aangeskakel en gedink hoe sou dit wees. The thing that tripped me up in the first couple of versions of writing this was the pronouns, and luckily for me it became a very big thing on Twitter and so on, getting the right pronoun on. So I did a lot of rewriting and a lot of showing it to friends and saying, is this offensive? Does this work? Does this not work? I particularly didn't want to write a femme fatale trans person who normally dies in the last bit, although if you see the play, it's kind of not clear what happens. Just for the sake of clarity on this, about half of what each of these characters said was the absolute truth and the other half were complete lies. And that's kind of revealed as the play progresses. It's structured as a thriller, so it's very in and out, and as Rafiq was saying, there's things like there's a whole collection of hideous Royal Dalton figurines, I hope there are no fans here, that form a large part of the play. There's also a big, awful orange and brown Pyreneeën schilderij, which we all know, that is kind of has an important thing for her. It's kind of difficult to not give away too much of the play, because I hope all of you will get to see it eventually. And it had twists and turns. There are lots of surprises throughout. But the sexuality of it wasn't difficult for me to write. I must admit, it was kind of, it flowed very easily. Once I imagined who she was and who she was, I could write it. It was relatively easy.
And just a quick question. You usually you write a lot for radio,
yes,
not necessarily for stage.
Yeah.
En ook in Afrikaans, nie noodwendig in Engels nie. So why English? Why this play for stage and not for radio or
Because I could say things in this play that I couldn't possibly say on radio. Ons het geleer by RSG, as jy 'n lesbian karakter of 'n gay karakter het, is daar tannies en kakemas wat vir jou gaan SMS en sê ek kan dit nie meer vat nie. En ons het nou my naam is Vincent, wat 'n middagvervolgverhaal wat 60 episodes wat nou net klaar gemaak het, ek geskryf het. En soort van die here van die stuk is hierdie klein moffie van die Cape Flats. En hy spring in en help die polisie as 'n groot surprise aan almal. En die vorige ding wat deur Marie Snyman geskryf was, per toeval was daar 2 gay mans in wat liefde gevind het. So daar was skielik baie gay stories elke middag by radio. En ons het dit gekry, maar ons het ook ontsettende ondersteuning gekry. Ons het mense gekry wat gesê het, "Haai, dit is my mense, dit is my neefie, ek onthou hy was so." So dis maar net 'n leerproses, iets wat deur almal gaan. And I think writing this in English, my mom was English and Roman Catholic, and my dad was an atheist Afrikaner, so I grew up in a very interesting house. My dad always used to say, in our house you get bisexual, bilingual, and bipolar people, so take your pick. We've got one of each. I wanted to write a story, I wanted to tell a story because we're there are 2 things that as a society we're kind of ignoring. The one is the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. If it Clark died last year, as julle fans is ek jammer, maar he wasn't honest in the end. I mean, the Mea Culpa speech was a recorded thing that was only played after his death. That's not fair. He should have done it while he was alive. He would have been a hero to all of us had he done it, but he kind of chose not to do it. And there's a lot of that. You know, there's the people who really perpetrated the awful crimes are growing fat on their farms or living in Waterkloof or Clifton or wherever, and slowly dying out. And we've almost reached the point where it's too late to try and do anything about it now. And the other reason I wanted to write it was the way trans people are being shown all over the thing when in the 70s and 80s, what really irritated me, grensloos, was when people would find out you were gay, they would say, "So are you the man or the woman?" And now trans people are going through the same thing with saying, "Well, are you a man or a woman?" Because it's the same question, it's as offensive to both sides. So yeah, I kind of wrote it for all those.
En alle vrae is nog steeds daar.
Ja.
So dis nog baie om te doen. I put the floor questions. Comments.
I want to find out
We can't hear you, Fahimi. I know you've got No, we can't because you need to be on with streaming. Welcome to the new age.
Of course. I wanted to ask you, earlier on when you did the introduction, you spoke about the dropping of some of the letters, the LGBTQI, JK, whatever, all those. It's interesting because as a gay person, I hadn't come across the fact that some of them had been dropped or the issues with them. Can you maybe explain that?
In the UK, for instance, at the moment, there's now a kind of movement away from the LGBTQIA plus community, and there's now this separate community that calls themselves the LGB, because they're terrified of going into a toilet, and the BBC has gone through a big thing at the moment where somebody wrote an article on the internet saying that, or claiming that trans people who were not fully transitioned were forcing lesbians to have sex with them, penetrative sex with them. And this, it's kind of thrown that the people have resigned at the BBC because of it. So there's kind of a big controversy flowing, but it's kind of, the undercurrent exists. And En in ons land praat ons mos nie baie oor sulke goed nie. We have to go to the Brightflies fire, as someone said earlier, and get lots of rum and coke in before these things come out. And so, yeah, I know it's there. I have friends that I don't speak to anymore because of things they've said to me about the trans community. Their inability to just accept that not everyone's like you, you know. And we said that for so long, you know. We're not like you. We're not straight people who happen to fall in love with the same sex. We're gay people. We're entirely separate people. Exactly the same applies for trans people. So, you know, that was kind of.
I've got one question for everyone, and I'll answer it as well. Are you scared to now to use the wrong pronouns when you speak to people? When you engage, are you scared to? I am. I am very sensitive that I am using the wrong, and I start stuttering, and because I'm so scared I offend someone, because I don't want to offend someone. But sometimes you don't know what is preferred, what is not. It becomes confusing sometimes. So I just wanted to know, kind of, just the hands who are scared.
The answer is, I think,
There's a few.
Ask someone. If you come to them and say, hoe moet ek jou noem? Is jy hom, haar, hy, ons, wat? You have to ask. If you're not upfront about it, you're never going to know.
But it's also from the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a thing of, if I call someone in the wrong pronoun and not call them, and it's wrong, and you know, that person should just tell me, you know, sorry, but can you call me? You know, it's a polite kind of thing of just then informing you so that you can try. I'm still going to get it wrong, most probably in that conversation, but at least you know and you can try, because it becomes very, very difficult.
I just wanted to say that part of that being scared, and no offense to you and all those who put up their hands, but it is that prevents us from moving forward and having open and honest conversations, because ons gaan die hele tyd net sê, but I'm feeling like this, I offend you. If I'm offending you, then I'm sorry. Then your duty is also to then, you know, rectify me. So what I have done in, you know, the dealings with Diane and so on, then Diane had eintlik gedoen, toe toe, sê net vir my gesê, nee, I prefer they. So now I know.
This is Diane Albitzer.
Yeah,
yes.
So that is what ons nou doen. So when I speak to him, her, to Diane, I say they. Because I remembered that, but it wasn't offensive at all. She just rectified me. I find it difficult to then, well, she prefers they, but she is acceptable. So whilst we are moving along and we are getting to spaces where we are not 100% sitting in our DNAs, because it doesn't, I want to say they is, so grammatically I'm then also going in another direction, and you must respect the fact that I'm going to say they are, because I don't know how to say that they is as well, and if I must work my way, because that's my work that I have to put in, then I put it in. And I don't know, don't know is not a defense.
Yeah, no, but what I think is, what I think, Rafik, is what I mean is, just to clarify that, is that I think it's not a question of, it's just that there's such repercussions when you get it wrong, that you then kind of, okay, you know, and you know, there's no, because you don't know. People don't know, and I'm talking, but we're sitting with fairly open-minded, liberal people, and 90% of the people raised their hand here and said, that this is kind of, they're scared to go there because they're scared they could go wrong. But the thing is that I think it's just a discussion we need to have, is that it's also kind of not, and from the gay, lesbian, community, I think it's very important to be sensitive towards that as well, to say that it is still an education, and that it is not necessarily immediately being on our back, on our toes, whatever that saying is.
I think part of the fear.
Again, for him, I need to come down to you.
I think part of the fear or holding back, is also the fact that it's confusing. It is very, very confusing. You don't want to get it wrong. You don't want to upset anybody. As a gay person who grew up, as you know, deeply it is confusing because, as you said, the pronouns, prepositions, all of those things change. It impacts the language, and you don't quite know how to use it. I mean, as I said, as an opening game alias, I struggle to get that right, and I wish that, for example, there's a word like MX, which is used if you don't want to be Mr., Miss, or whatever, which is very clear because it stands apart. And I wish that we maybe give it some more thought that it wasn't that, and it doesn't create confusion, because it will, the confusion will perpetuate if it isn't a lot clearer than what it is. So it's just something that I feel as a vast man, it's a struggle for me too.
True.
But I think this is, we can talk for this for hours, and I think it's a topic and that's what the arts and theatre and film and television have become so important. I mean, it's incredible what's happening at the moment in Afrikaans television, I think specifically, with gay characters coming in to Sit Twisted and different kind of characters actually for the first time coming, being shown in as part of society, which they are. It's incredible, and that's 10 steps ahead already from where we were 2 years ago, 5 years ago. So it is important that the arts in its full television form and theatre really kind of addresses this kind of issues, so that people, because that's how you make people kind of comfortable with all of it. And no, comfortable is the wrong word. You know what I mean, yeah. Anyway, all right. We've now got a break for an hour, and we'll start at 2 again. Thank you very much. Thank you.